Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday, March 16th, 2026. Here's what's coming up on the Owen Report today. Well, it was a pretty wild weekend, and you can see the frustration everywhere as far as the media landscape is concerned. And I think it's fair to say today that this division in MAGA that's become a canyon, it's gone from a crevasse to a canyon now. I think after this weekend, and I think after the things that were said today, I think you can say that it's pretty much decided now. It's pretty much decided where everybody is at in the media landscape. The people that were on the fence, the people that were kind of trying to play the middle, they had to make their decisions. They were forced onto an island. And now we got our idea of what the media makeup, what the media landscape is going to be like heading into the midterm elections. Now, I'll explain some of that as far as the context with the news that we have today. But you have President Trump making statements about the media. You have his FCC chair making statements about the media, multiple statements, huge statements. And then what appears to be the individuals with the most influence on President Trump, based off of what they're saying and the circumstantial evidence, it seems that now they're making their move into Trump, and they are demanding now punishment for people in the media that they disagree with. Now, I don't want to belabor this point. But if you've been watching the Owen Report, you know that this is the case. I told you that this is exactly where the right wing was going to go. I said months ago, I was already arrested for speech by the American left. At this rate, I anticipate I'll be arrested for speech by the American right. Now, you can make decisions as to whether or not you want to play that game with this new tyrannical right wing, with this new woke right wing. But that's now the decision you have. That's now been stated. Now, whether or not this administration wants to actually go there, I don't know. But we've seen the first signs of official statements and moves that, yes, the right wing wants the new free speech party, the Republican Party, wants the new free speech movement, the conservative movement, every other different form it's had. It's now gone. The right wing being the free speech wing, it's over. The American right claimed that title for about 8 years, maybe. Gone now. So this leaves the void. This leaves the mantle open. Will the left wing step in? Will the liberals reclaim their title as the party of free speech now that the right wing is totally against it? So we'll show all those announcements. And then we've got the news, big geopolitical developments. It's virtually impossible to know what's really going on as far as the war is concerned. All we can do is look at the results. But from whatever is actually going on the ground to whatever you or I can consume to try to reach a conclusion, it's virtually impossible. It's virtually impossible. And you have other statements, and this ties into the free speech angle. You have other statements from this administration, including Pete Hegseth, that will play today. And they're upset because they can't control the narrative. Well, this is exactly why we don't trust you. We're not trying to have a controlled narrative. We're trying to know what the hell is actually going on. So I think the psychology of Trump now is starting to play out. And this is why he talks about being kind of jealous of China or even Kim Jong-un, because they can just act as dictators. They can just act as tyrants. They don't have to deal with all the noise and all the mess of it. Seems that Trump has kind of envied that position as a politician and has just decided he's just going to kind of go forward like that. He sees news he doesn't like. He doesn't want it out there. He sees news organizations that are mean to him. He's going to bring his friend along to win the bidding process and take it over. And they're bragging about this, by the way. I'm not just telling you this. They're bragging about this. So I got that. And then, what's the other big complaint today? It's the same damn big complaint. Israel controls everything. The American people are sick of it. But, of course, if you say that, you're an anti-Semite. So here we go.
This news update was brought to you by OwenSchroyer.store, the official site for Owen Report merchandise.
All right, guys, I want to announce a new sponsor of the show. And we're very excited about this technology. You've probably heard of Faraday bags, Faraday cages before, but this is the sleekest, most high-quality Faraday bag, Faraday cage you're going to find, and that's Slint. S-L-N-T, slint.com/Owen. By the way, as you're listening to this, 15% plus free shipping on qualifying orders with coupon code Owen. 15% plus free shipping on qualifying orders with coupon code Owen at slnt.com. Everything we carry is broadcasting a signal. And nowadays, you might be carrying 2 or 3 things even that are broadcasting a signal. Your phone, laptop, key fob, who knows? All kinds of stuff we carry around now. Things we wear on our wrist even. Most people don't realize, but these devices are constantly sharing location data, identifiers, and wireless handshakes with networks all around you. The signal can be tracked, collected, intercepted, and this makes you and your data vulnerable. That's just the reality of the world we live in today. That's why I'm using, and I suggest you use Silent is actually how it's pronounced there, but S-L-N-T, Silent. I don't want big tech, the government, or anyone else knowing my every move. I want to control when I'm connected and what I share. When I place my phone, laptop, or key fob in a Silent Faraday bag, the signal instantly stops. No cellular, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no GPS. Your device is disconnected from the grid. Also might be good for when you sleep if you're worried about that, as a lot more people are thinking about getting their cell phones, Wi-Fi, routers, everything else out of their bedroom. So you can think about that too with the Silent Faraday bag. And here's the part that really got my attention. Silent has been awarded 9 military contracts. So you know it's as good as it gets. This is the same type of signal blocking gear used to help protect our soldiers from GPS detection and electronic threats. Now that same technology is available for everyday people. If you want to check it out, go to silent.com. That's slnt.com/Owen, slnt.com/Owen. Very sleek designs, very effective, military-grade quality. And with coupon code Owen, you can get 15% plus free shipping, 15% off plus free shipping on qualifying orders with coupon code Owen at slnt.com/Owen.
On the cutting edge of news and analysis, the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
How was everybody's weekend, huh? Some crazy weather. What did you get? Did you get the crazy heat, or did you get the crazy snow? We got up to, I think it was 95 degrees. I'm not trying to rub it in, but the pool was a popular destination this weekend in Austin, Texas. 95 and sunny. That's a pleasant surprise for us here in Austin. Well, a lot of news over the weekend, trying to decide how we want to tackle it today. Once again, we're just overwhelmed as far as the news desk is concerned. So I kind of want to just slowly pace myself into today's transmission. We do have some of the heavier stuff that we're all sick of, but it has to be talked about. It's part of the news. But I keep going back and thinking, and I kind of crossed this threshold myself over the weekend, and I knew it was going to happen. And so I was mentally prepared for it. I wasn't sure when it would actually happen. I think this weekend, at least for me, maybe others, but I'd say generally speaking, this was the weekend, and then you could even say this morning, let's say the last 3 days, maybe the last 4 days from Friday to Monday here, the threshold has been crossed now. And a couple topics here, a couple topics that I've been discussing. One, the re-imaging, the new media landscape. This happens every election cycle. This one in particular, I think, has been the most intense. It's had the most velocity to it. But I think now, the different islands, the different enclaves, the different elements that we see now of the American media into this midterm season, I think it's now solidified. I think it's now cemented. You kind of already started to see where people were moving and shifting. Some people rising, some people falling, whatever. But there were still people that were kind of on the fence, still people in the middle, still people not sure where they were going to go, people that are trying to decide, do I just cling to whatever the narrative is, or do I just cling to, whatever business decision I need to make? I think pretty much everybody has decided it now. I don't think there's too many fence sitters left. I don't think there's too many people in the middle wavering left. I think everybody's pretty much made up their mind. And now you can get a grasp on what to expect from this media landscape into the midterm election season. Now, that could be nothing to you because you might be the smartest one out there and you just spend 3 hours with the Owen Report every day. So then you don't need to worry about this. Congratulations. You made the smartest decision for media consumption. You're listening to the Owen Report. But for people that kind of like to swim around and dabble and surf, and you're still wondering, where do I go? Who do I like? Who I don't like? It's pretty much all determined now. I don't think you're going to see anybody making any big moves before the midterms. I think everybody knows. I think you can see whatever you're getting now. That's what you can expect through the midterms. Now, having said that, I guess it was the second, I'm trying to remember, some night right after New Year's, I did that little video. It's kind of a funny video, but I was serious, and I said, 2026 is the year of the MOG. 2026 is the year of the trigger. And it might not have made much sense at that juncture. It hopefully makes more sense today. But this was the boundary for me that I kind of crossed over the weekend. And I guess part of that process was going through last week and the insanity of it. And this new infighting, this new right-wing civil war, MAGA breakup, whatever, where it got so dark that one day, it got so dark that it was like, it's time to just go lights out. It's time to just stay dark because this whole thing is so dark. To now this weekend, now to me, aside from the seriousness of the news and the seriousness of everything that's going on, I mean, for God's sakes, there's a war happening. Innocent children are getting killed. So it's like pretty serious stuff. But no, I kind of crossed my own barrier, my own threshold this weekend, where now I look at a lot of this stuff, and I at this point, I just laugh. Now I just laugh. So we're into that phase of we mog the MAGA cult members, we trigger the MAGA cult members. You just have to embrace this now. They're gone. They're gone. Okay? Now they've stated it. The only thing that matters to them is loyalty to Trump. What's so incredible about this from just a basic psychological perspective, and I guess you could even say policy-wise, but this isn't even about policy anymore, and that's the proof, is that they don't care about policy. They just want to be loyal to Trump now. And so they've made the break. This is all really settled in the last 4 days. They've now made the break. They're now out here saying, well, I don't care about campaign promises. I don't care about war. I don't care about deportations. I don't care about Doge. I don't care about anything. All that matters is loyalty to Trump. And that's all it has become. So it's a cult. So now they're just admitting it's a cult. Now they're just openly behaving like a cult. And I've got that in the news today. They're calling for people that left the cult to be arrested. They're calling for people that left the cult to get sued, everything else. So this is what happens when you leave the cult, and the cult members that stay, they want to destroy your life. They want you imprisoned. They want you dead. But they don't even hide it anymore. So they've been called out so many times, like most recently, where in 2024, all of these cult members were against the war. They said, no war in Iran. We don't want regime change war. Stay out of the Middle East. Now all of them promote it. So they got called out. So they can't deny that they're total frauds. They can't deny that they're total hypocrites. So now they just figure, well, in their eyes, I'm just on the winning team. I'm on Team Trump. So I really don't care if I'm a fraud. I really don't care if you call me out for the hypocrisy. I really don't care about any policy. The only thing that matters is Trump and loyalty to Trump. So obviously, most people can't relate to that. That's the least American thing you can do, is to not be independent. It's the least freedom-loving thing you can do, is to join some weird political cult. But that's where they're at. They embraced it now. They have nowhere else to go. And they're outward and open about this. And you can see how everything's shifting into that, and Trump is kind of even embracing that a little bit. Here's what's so stunning to me, and this is why, we've kind of just re-entered clown world now. It's like clown world is back open, but now the right is running it. It's like we used to go through the turnstiles and get into clown world, and it was all the liberal progressives running around. And, oh, look at the liberal clowns. Now it's the MAGA clown. So it used to be you go into the turnstiles, clown world opens up, and the horns and the honking and the pies and everything. And it's a bunch of liberal progressives running around. You're in clown world. Well, okay, clown world is back open, and you walk through the turnstiles, and now it's a bunch of people wearing Trump hats. They got the ear bandage on. And now it's just clown world is just run by MAGA tards. So it's to the point for me where I just laugh. Now it's just funny. We just trigger these people. We just mog these people. It sucks. Our country is suffering. It sucks. We've been betrayed, but this is where we're at. This is the timeline we're in. There's no going back. I mean, we're in clown world with these fools. These fools are running clown world, folks. They've got all 12 of their MAGA hats on. They got their ear bandage. They got their giant shoes. I mean, even Trump, this is true. Trump is gifting members of his administration these, I guess it's like some fine Italian shoe. Looks like a nice shoe. And he doesn't know their size. So they're all walking around in clown shoes. Have you seen this? This is a real story. He doesn't know their size. So I guess he just buys all of them the same size. I don't know. They're all running around with shoes that are too big for them. I mean, this is the clown world that we're in. So they've all got their big shoes. They've got their pies are flying around, their white hats, their red hats, their black hats, their blue hats, whatever hat they got from Trump. This is clown world now. They're running clown world. So we're back into clown world. But okay, let me bring it home. This is what's so crazy about it. This is where it's like there's actually something truly wrong with these people. Or we have to accept that just as dumb as we thought the left wing was, it turns out the right wing is just as dumb. And we thought there was a big renaissance of the American right. We thought there was a big awakening of the American right. We thought there was this new wave of patriotism and common sense and independent thought. We thought all of these things encompassed the new American right, and it turns out it's all gone. This new MAGA right, gone. None of that is involved. So here's what's so stunning about it, and this is what's so dangerous about it. Because this is the logic. Okay, they're only loyal to Trump now. That's it. That's it. Nothing else matters. It's just about loyalty to Trump. So what if Trump decides that he's going to reopen the border? What if Trump comes out tomorrow and says, I want 10 million illegal immigrants to come into the country in the next 2 years? Are you going to support that? The answer is yes. Based off of your logic, the answer to that question is yes. And you can throw your hands up and say, that's a hypothetical. That's never going to happen. It doesn't matter. You're missing the point. This already has happened. It's called the war in Iran. This already has happened. It's called mass deportations. This already has happened. It's called No deep state arrests. No Doge arrests. All of this has already happened. So you can throw your arms up and say, oh, he would never open the border. It doesn't matter. He's already flipped on his policies, and you supported him. So it doesn't matter whether he's going to reopen the border or not. You already committed to it. Let's say Trump comes out, which he did for a second and reversed it. Trump is now pro-trans surgeries. They're going to support that. Trump now wants to raise taxes. They'll support that. So you see, that's the logic of these people. That's the mindset of these people. Some of them have just openly decided we're going to join this cult. Now, I do think for many of them, there is a level of hesitation. And they really believe they're on the winning team, or they've just already hitched their wagon to this MAGA train. So they're just going to ride it out. They've just decided, I've hooked it to this train, so I'm just going to go wherever it goes. The rest be damned. I don't know any better anyway. I'm a political nothing, so we're just going to hitch our wagon to this train and see what happens. But for your own sake, that's how I would start treating this. For your own mental, political mind to not go completely crazy with whatever happens between now and the midterms. Just understand we've just re-entered clown world. We've been here before. It's a little upsetting. We didn't anticipate we'd be here again so soon. We didn't anticipate that the new people running the Clown World show would all be in MAGA hats. But that's where we are. That's where we are. We are back into Clown World. You've just entered the turnstiles. The horns are honking. The pies are flying. The laughs are giggling. But everyone running the show is now in a MAGA hat. So it's okay. We've been here before. We've been in Clown World before. It's a new version. You know, it's something new for us to experience. But that's what it is. So I would just accept it. I wouldn't fight it. I wouldn't go crazy over it. I think we've already kind of been through that. At least I feel like I've been through that. There's no point in fighting it anymore. It is what it is. And you know, we're gonna continue to expose it and call it out. And this is what they've realized. And when I get to the news here in a second, we'll get into this. What they've realized is the midterms don't look good. And again, we're so far ahead of all of this. It's I feel bad being redundant for the everyday listeners, but it's just true. We're so far ahead of this. But now you see it. Now they're saying, oh, we're going to lose the midterms and it's all your fault. I mean, so okay, like I'm just going to start smiling and waving. It's your fault we lost the midterms. You idiots. We were the ones that warned about this last year and you said you didn't want our vote. We were the ones that warned about this a year ago and you called us panicans. Now you're blaming us. So, I mean, yeah, I got to get the clown horn back. I think I need to get like a clown nose even. We might even have to bring back an entire clown character. Is how rich this one is going to get. But it's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way to stay sane. And it's obvious these people debating them. That's what I'm saying. It's just like the woke left. They don't care about facts. They don't care about the reality. They can't do debates. These are all just woke right people that fall for all the same crap as the stuff on the woke left. It's just a different flavor. It's a different color. But it's over, guys. And so I'm leaning in. And I think it's beautiful. If you want to blame me or the list, because they're making lists now, just like the woke left, they make lists, they turn them into Big Brother, and then they sneer and jeer at one another. Like, okay, haha, look at you guys. You're clowns. So I'm with you now. I'm in the clown world with you now. I'm leaning in. Yes, it is our fault. We are the reason why you will lose the midterms. We are that much more popular than you. We are that much more cooler than you. We are that smarter than you. We are that much better looking than you. We make better political points than you. You're right. We are the reason you will learn the midterms. That's right, bitch. How do you like that? We're bigger than you. We're cooler than you. We're more popular than you. We're funnier than you. Better looking. You name it. We are better than you in every single way. And because of that, you will lose the midterms because you said you didn't want us and you said you didn't need us. And it turns out you're nothing without us. But hey, ride off into the sunset with President Trump. Ride off. And as they're riding off into the sunset, all of Trump's orange makeup will start flying off his face. And if you're lucky, you'll catch some of it. Oh, Trump's makeup hit me. Oh. And enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. It'll be great. Your debt will go up. Your economy won't get any better. Democrats will take the midterms. Go ahead. Hey, this is your guys' ride. This is what you wanted. Blame us for everything. That's fine. We're not on the train with you anymore. We're not on the ride with you. It's all you guys now. So if you can't figure out how to win the midterms without us, I guess that's on you. I mean, I don't know. If you guys can't figure out how to win the midterms by starting more wars and killing a bunch of kids and calling for censorship and imprisonment of journalists, then, hey, man, I don't know. That's weird to me that that's not working for you, but good luck, you know? Good luck. It's like, what do you think that does? It's, you guys are to blame for the midterms. Okay, cool. Like, what? What do you want us to do? Support the war? Do you want us to support abortion too? Do you want us to support open borders? Because you guys are just loyal to Trump. So if he changes his mind, so do you. We actually have values and principles here. We can think independently. They're going to blame us. So don't worry. We've got that. We've got that in the news today. But I'll close this little monologue now, and we'll start getting into it. We'll close the books on this week's opening monologue here. Just accept it, guys. Just embrace it. We're in total clown world. And it's the MAGA hats that are running it now. But you're in clown world. It's the woke right. They're in control. And so I think we've had enough of a struggle session over it. I think we've had enough of the pressure cooker. And now it's just time to just accept it, lean in, understand that now you just have to mog, you just have to trigger, and just let them crash out. Just let them crash out. Let them take this train off of the cliff, and you'll hear all the different circus sounds as it goes towards the surface, and we'll just be sitting here laughing at them. We'll just be sitting here laughing at them as they point up at us, blaming us for everything. Say, okay, bye. Haha, yep, all of our fault. Sorry. See ya. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the cliff. Because unlike the rest of these cult members, we can't be convinced to change our minds on war in the Middle East and foreign aid and fraud and killing kids and campaign promises being broken, trading Thomas Massey for Lindsey Graham, trading Tucker Carlson for Mark Levin. Sorry, we're not into that. Not going to fly with us. You guys enjoy it, though. You guys enjoy it, and now you've obviously accepted it's not cool, it's not popular, you've destroyed the movement, so you're blaming everyone but yourselves. But it's you guys now. It's not our problem. It's not our movement. It's not our hat. It's not our train. It's all you guys. So enjoy the ride. We'll be up here watching, pointing, laughing, mogging, triggering. And from here on out, you guys just crash out. And if you're lucky, Like some of them, you'll have a direct line to President Trump, and you can literally call him and cry. You can call the Trump cry line, and he'll pick up. And you can cry and keep crying and cry a little more. You're going to be doing a lot of crying. So enjoy. Call up Daddy Trump. Ah, Mr. President, they're being so mean to me. Oh my gosh, did you see what they said about you? I'm making a list. Do you want it, Mr. President? I've got a list right now. Do you want it? Enjoy. Because we're out. But the only concern is, and you might be concerned about this too, is what are these people going to do? Are they going to completely destroy everything? Are they going to completely crash everything? Well, you might be feeling the same way. I know I am. And if you don't have emergency food, it's time to act, ladies and gentlemen. Get something. Please have an emergency food supply. Have insurance you can eat. Our friends at My Patriot Supply at preparewithowen.com. We've got the easiest way for you to get started on it right now. Very simple. Right now, they've got a 4-week emergency food kit plus a free 1-week ammo can. They call it the ammo can because it comes in one of those ammo can storage containers, which is a little bit different than their normal storage container. Still high quality. We Patriot, we got a deal with My Patriot Supply because they have the best emergency food quality and it comes ready to store. So if you have none, this is an easy 4-week emergency food kit plus free 1-week ammo can. Easy way to get started. Preparewithowen.com, or you can see there's a barcode on the screen. You can go ahead and scan that barcode. It'll take you right to the site. And with this emergency food supply, you know you're getting at least 2,000 calories a day. Real meals made with real ingredients, no artificial flavors or colors, and shelf life measured in decades. You got to check this one off the list if you haven't. Go to preparewithowen.com. That's preparewithowen.com, or scan the barcode on the screen and just check this off the list, folks. Get yourself food insurance right now at preparewithowen.com. Let's just hope they don't mess it up so bad that we'll all have to be digging into that sometime soon. All right. Okay, into the news we go. We got a couple statements from Trump here. You know what? Before I do this, though, so I'm sitting there. I know we've all felt this before. I know we all felt this before, but I think it reached a new level, at least for me today. It's, I guess it's about noon, whatever. And Trump is live again right now. Couldn't care less. Trump's word is meaningless now, by the way. And also it's meaningless no matter which way you look at it. But it's meaningless now. Trump's word is meaningless now. It means nothing. What he says means absolutely nothing. He could change his mind the next day. He could completely say the opposite thing a week later. So there's no point in listening to Trump anymore. Now you could say, oh, it's good. He keeps everybody off balance. You could say, oh, it just shows, he's making decisions with the moments. It's like, okay, fine. I'm not telling you to make up your mind as far as an opinion on Trump. I'm just telling you his word is meaningless now. So why would I care to listen to Trump when he says no more wars, no more regime change wars, we're not going into Iran, and then he does it? So there's no point. Why would I listen to Trump when he says everyone has Tomahawks, and then the next day he says no one has Tomahawks except us? So Trump's word means nothing anymore. And so I'm sitting there, I guess it's about noon when he had the press conference earlier. And normally my instincts are, this is just what I do to consume news, to do a show. Normally my instincts are, if I'm sitting there, whatever, I'm eating lunch, cleaning the kitchen or something, and I'm sitting there and I got my news all going on the screen and my talk radio on. If I see Trump goes live, or if I see Caroline Levitt steps to the podium, I pause everything else and I put that on so I can hear what they're saying, so I get the update. That's like the instinct. Like, I don't even think about it. I just see it and I just do it. It's just part of my habit. Didn't happen today. I saw Trump on the screen. I didn't even move. I didn't even think twice. I couldn't have even cared less. And it'd be one thing if I was consciously sitting there like, oh, Do I want to listen to what Trump says? Folks, it wasn't even a reaction. It's like there was no response mechanism anymore to seeing Trump speak. That's how gone. That's how worthless his words are to me now. And I guess he's live right now. I couldn't care less. But there were some things that he said that I would say are interesting. I can't believe he would ever say anything like this. This is not the Trump that we used to expect.
Israel is expected to expand its ground offensive in southern Lebanon to go after Hezbollah. Have you discussed that with Israeli leaders?
Yeah.
And does the United States support a potential Israeli invasion of Lebanon?
Yeah, no, I did. And
As if it's not already happening. The invasion is already happening. They already did their military demolition, and now the ground troops are moving into all of the land that they just demolished.
though, look, Hezbollah is a problem. It's been a problem for a long time, not just now. And it's a certain area, because I was with the other night a person whose parents live in Lebanon. This is a very substantial person, wealthy person, whose parents live in Lebanon. I said, really? How do you live in Lebanon? Your parents are living? Oh, yeah, they live there. And over the years, they've gotten used to the fact that it's being bombed. But they explained to me that it's really a different section of Lebanon. It's the section where Hezbollah is. And they get used to it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, people live in Ukraine. You would think they wouldn't live in Ukraine, but they live in Ukraine. I don't know that I'd do that.
So just get used to it. Just get used to it. And yes, Trump is stunned that foreigners bomb and try to take their land, and he's stunned that people just stand there. No matter what you think about Ukraine, no matter what you think about Lebanon, no matter what you think about Gaza, yeah, that's what happens. These are the people that live there, and then a foreign nation comes in and bombs and tries to take the land, and they don't move because they want to stay there. So it's just like, what are we even saying here? What are we even talking about here? I had another Trump clip, but now I can't find it. No, we got to find this other one. Let me see here. I think I accidentally pulled it down. Now I can't find it. But it was Trump again today. I guess it doesn't even matter. Oh, well. Like I said, I think Trump's words are slowly but surely becoming meaningless anyway. So let's just move on. So this poll came out. This is why everything is happening right now, folks. Young voters' view on Israel turned sharply, leading declines across age ranges. And you can actually see here that it's a virtual split between ages 65 up and 35 and under. Now, I've been talking about this ad nauseum that, you're probably sick of it. But this poll just totally confirms it, how this is a total generational issue. And the younger generations and the older generations are basically a perfect split here. So the vast majority under 34 do not support Israel. The vast majority over 65 do support Israel. And that's your generational gap. And what's frustrating, I think, forget about however anybody feels about it. What's frustrating for all of these younger age groups, which actually the majority of people under 65 now, it looks like, don't support Israel. The majority of people under 65 do not support Israel, according to these new polls. So what's frustrating is that the generation of people that, quite frankly, have been running the country, that put us into this mess, the generation of people that kept us at war for 30 plus years, the generation of people that have put us $40 trillion in debt, the generation of people that have destroyed our culture, they're the only ones that still support this foreign policy, and they're ramming it down our throats one last time. They're ramming it down our throats, and all of the younger people are just sitting here saying, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this to our country? You guys had your chance. Your foreign policy has failed. It's failed the world. It's failed our country. But see, they see that once all of these guys are gone here, there is no more support left for Israel. It'll be all dried up. It'll be all over. So they're going for everything. So they're stealing as much money as they can right now and thrusting it all into Israel's interests because they know it won't be too long before there is zero interest in Israel at all in the United States of America. So that's why everything you're seeing is happening right now under Trump. They know that subsidizing Israel's interest and subsidizing the entire existence of Israel off the back of the United States taxpayer is coming to an end. So they're pedal to the metal right now, no matter what it costs. I don't even want to go down the Charlie Kirk angle, but I mean, how can you not? And they come out, oh yeah, 30-6, no exit wound. Okay. I'm sure it had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, who was probably groomed to be president from the very beginning by the same donor class that supports the foreign policy that Charlie had abandoned. And now that's no longer an issue. And here's Erica to run the show. But I'm sure that's just all too convenient. But aside from that, this right here is why everything you see is happening. This is why they're going for broke in Iran, in Turkey, in anywhere else that Israel's interests can siphon money out of the United States. They are going to do it in this administration because they know it's all over after that. Every single poll indicates it's all over. The support for Israel in the United States of America is gone. I mean, gone in 10 years. Gone. So they have to get everything they can possible out of it right now before that moment happens. And it's really simple as that. So I do predict the left wing is going to be forced to run on the anti-Israel platform. And I've been saying this for months now. There's a couple more pieces of evidence I have for this. There's no doubt Jennifer Welch is pretty popular, I guess, from the left-wing perspective. I think she has a lot of liberal women that listen to her show. She gets Cory Booker on the show and doesn't waste any time holding his feet to the fire.
I'm one of a handful of people that don't take corporate PAC money.
What about AIPAC money? You take AIPAC money, don't you?
That's a minuscule percentage of my resources come from.
I read it's like 800,000.
Yeah, but that's a lifetime number.
When you
$800,000, it's actually almost $900,000. $800,000 is a minuscule number, says Cory Booker. Almost $1 million in campaign donations is a minuscule number. Folks, how much are elections worth? Think about it. You want to know why politics is so corrupt? How much is an election worth? How much money is determined? How much flow of money is determined by who wins the White House, by who wins in Congress? Oh, trillions of dollars? Oh, yeah, I took $800,000 from AIPAC. That's nothing, says Cory Booker. That's minuscule.
you did your 25-hour speech, I was like, go, Cory. I love this. That is amazing. And then there's a photo shoot with you with Benjamin Netanyahu. And I was just like, what in the actual Like, how can he do that? It was heartbreaking. I felt betrayed. I felt like it diminished your 25 hours. That's how it felt to me. Do you think he's a war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu? Do you think he's a war criminal?
Again, these are questions that a lot of people think are the important litmus tests that are loaded and hot. My urgency is to be an effective leader in bringing an end to this crisis. And I get these questions all the time.
So you see, he knows it. He says it right here.
Again, these are questions that a lot of people think are the important litmus tests.
A lot of people think are the important litmus tests. Yeah, no kidding. A lot of people don't like killing kids. A lot of people don't like funding Israel. A lot of people don't like foreign wars. A lot of people are sick of being in the Middle East. You're damn right this is the litmus test. And the Democrats are going to be the first ones to hold that as the litmus test to see who's going to get elected or not. And that's why I think they're going to run on the anti-Israel platform in 2026. But even they are going to have to be careful about it. Now, they've got a strategy, but let's finish with this.
That are loaded and hot. My urgency is to be an effective leader in bringing.
Listen to this political talk, refusing to answer the question. Yeah, we know, we get it. You can't say anything bad about Israel or Netanyahu. You're all cucked.
Bringing an end to this crisis. And I get these questions all the time that to me undermine my urgency.
I think the thing that Democrats get so frustrated with, where we are right now, where you see like the Zoran Mamdanis and the Graham Plattners rise up, because they can go on podcasts and you can say, do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal? And they just say, yes. And that's the end of it. It's not all of the rhetoric answering. It's like what happens to Democratic politicians, they go through this like prism, and then we can't ever get like the answer to yes or no conversations.
Here's much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding. They're not allowed to answer that. So this is apparently AIPAC's plan. And you could even say, they've already been successful to a certain degree here. AIPAC's plan to sink progressives, slam them from the left. Now, this was their strategy with Jamal Bowman and with Cori Bush. And so essentially what they do here, groups linked to AIPAC are employing an eyebrow-raising tactic to sink pro-Palestinian progressives in Democratic congressional primaries, go after their leftist bona fides. One example of this is out of Chicago. Kat Abu Ghazi. I'm not intentionally mispronouncing her name. She's some weird name. Kat Abu Ghazi or something like that. Young blonde girl, probably close to my age, maybe younger. Always been kind of a far left liberal, kind of running on the anti-Israel platform. And so she's kind of their big test case. But what they're doing is they're running campaigns from the left against these progressive types. They don't care about the progressive types. They care about the anti-Israel. So AIPAC is running candidates against the anti-Israel Democrat candidates, and they're running it from they're too far left, they're too liberal, they're too progressive. So they're running these hit campaigns on these Democrats that are anti-Israel, and it comes off as like a right-wing campaign because they're hammering them for being too far left. So that's their strategy in the midterms. They have had success with that before. In fact, what they spent like, I don't want to get the number wrong, but we were talking about an astronomical amount of money to get Cori Bush out. An astronomical amount of money to defeat Cori Bush that AIPAC spent. And that was their strategy, was they were running this guy. He's kind of the centrist Democrat. He's the normal Democrat. Bush is radical. She's radical left-wing progressive. And that worked. That worked. You could say that they just did something similar in the Texas Senate primary against Jasmine Crockett. So that's going to be the one to watch as Democrats embrace the anti-Israel campaign, but then AIPAC tries to hit them from the left and say, oh, these are too far left. They can't win these primaries. So that's what's happening. That's their strategy. They've had success before, but we'll see if they can have success now as the landscape is different. Now, here's Trump, because why not? There's so many examples. Boy, oh boy. I wonder if Trump still feels this way. This is 2008. After Bush's wars in the Middle East, listen to what Trump said then.
But I was surprised that she didn't do more in terms of Bush and going after Bush. It just seemed like she was going to really look to impeach Bush and get him out of office, which personally I think would have been a wonderful thing.
Impeaching him?
Absolutely. For the war. For the war.
Because of the conduct of the
Well, he
war.
lied. He got us into the war with lies. And I mean, look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant. And they tried to impeach him, which was nonsense. And yet Bush got us into this horrible war with lies, by lying, by saying they had weapons of mass destruction, by saying all sorts of things that turned out not to be true.
So what happened to that Trump? Boy, oh boy, isn't that funny? So I guess by Trump's own measurements, he should be impeached. Unironically, I do think that happens after the midterms, and probably for the war. Probably for the war. How funny is that going to be that they're going to let every other president get away with it? And again, this is where Trump is just misunderstanding, I think, the situation he's in. When his advisors are telling him, hey, it's all good. Bush did it. Obama did it. Everybody does it. Clinton did it. You don't need to worry about impeachment. They all got away with it. He believes them. He thinks he's going to be held to the same standard or lack thereof from Clinton, Bush, and Obama. Yeah, right. Of course they're not going to hold you to the same loose standards, no matter how much you cut deals with them. It's crazy, but that's where this is going. But Trump was right then. Now, this is just weird from Pete Hegseth. And this is kind of where we get into just the craziness of what they want to do with the media now. Folks, this is just weird. I don't know how else to describe this than just performance. This is performance art from Hegseth at a hearing over the weekend on the Iran strikes.
Because you, and I mean specifically you, the press, specifically you, the press corps, because you cheer against Trump so hard. It's like in your DNA and in your blood to cheer against Trump.
Hey, bro, this isn't the first administration anymore. This type of performance, this type of press conference might have hit in the first administration. It doesn't hit anymore. So you're about 4 to 8 years late on this performance, bud. This is old hat.
Because you want him not to be successful so bad, you have to cheer against the efficacy of these strikes. You have to hope maybe they weren't effective. Maybe the way the Trump administration has represented them isn't true. So let's take.
Wait a second. What you're talking about here is accuracy. What you're talking about here is truth. So now the administration is conflating truth with negative bias. Or I don't know, maybe some Americans don't want to see children blown up by the hundreds. Maybe it's a combination of both. But this is 4 to 8 years late. The negative bias approach on media press conferences doesn't work anymore. Trump and this administration are the ones sending out mixed messages and mixed signals, and then you're just telling the media to go along with it and not ask questions and just believe whatever they're told. What are you? Who are you? Where did this come from? I thought that was the left's tactic. I thought that was the fake news tactic. I thought that was Obama. I thought that was Biden. No, now it's Trump. Now it's his administration. This doesn't hit anymore. Let's just move on. You get the point. And then you have Ted Cruz and Mark Levin over the weekend. And Cruz tells Levin, I've seen more anti-Semitism on the right in 18 months than ever. Okay, so that's just criticism of Israel. And there's obviously anti-Semites. But no, that's criticism of Israel. So this is the new woke right. If you don't fully support Israel or Netanyahu, then you're an anti-Semite. Just like if you don't support open borders, you're a racist. If you don't support Black Lives Matter, you're a racist. If you don't support Israel, you're an anti-Semite. It's all woke speak. So Ted Cruz going full woke right with Mark Levin, who's the king woke right worm. And he says, I think many are paid by Qatar. So this is the new Russia, Russia, Russia. Just like the woke left had Russia, 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 the woke right has Qatar, Qatar, Qatar. Can you imagine you're just whoever it is? You don't think we should be funding Israel's war. You don't think we should be involved in the Middle East. That's just your policy stance. And then someone comes at you, you're paid by Qatar. What the hell? That's how delusional these people are. That's how woke these people are. You support Trump. You're a Russian asset. What? I'm a Russian asset because I support Trump. Remember that? That's what they played. Now it's if you don't support Israel, you're a Qatar asset. And it's total clown world. So it's like they've learned nothing They've learned nothing, and they're just making their own attempt at Russia, except it's Qatar. And so what do you think happens when, let's say someone is paid by Qatar? Let's say 1%, and this is probably a stretch, but let's say 1%, which none of it even makes sense, but let's just humor him. Let's say 1% of the anti-Israel media is funded by Qatar, as he says. Okay, 1%. So imagine you're the 99% of that, and you're told you're paid by Qatar. And it's like, what do you think now? Well, you look at Ted Cruz, and you look at all of these people accusing you of being paid by Qatar, and you're like, wow, you're a clown. You're an idiot. You're a goon. I can't believe anybody ever took you seriously. That's where we're at. Just like Russia. It's now Qatar. It's woke left with Russia. It's woke right with Qatar. And all of these accusations will fall flat, and it makes them look stupid. But they're going all the way. Now, I don't really think Patricia Heaton has much influence politically, but she's decided to weigh in on all of this lately. She calls herself a Zio boomer. So this is a Christian Zionist. Former Hollywood actress. And she shares this story. So this got shared by a whole network of people. The right has a podcast problem, and it might cost us the election. So here we go. I told you they would blame us, so now we'll just take it. So that's good. I accept the blame. I accept that we're more popular than you. I accept that we're cooler than you. We have bigger audiences than you. We have bigger influences than you. We're better looking than you. We're smarter than you. We're better in literally every other way than you. And that's why when you guys didn't work with us, you're going to lose the elections. So now I'm just embracing the nonsense because we're full clown world now. So this got shared. How many? 1.5 million views on this. And you can go see all of the different comments for yourself. It's not popular, basically. But you see what they're doing here? Oh, it's Candace Owens. It's Megyn Kelly. It's Tucker Carlson. It's all the people that are critical of Israel. And that the right has a podcast problem. In other words, the right has a free speech problem. The right has too much free speech. The right has too much of an open mind. The right wing can't be put in a cult. The right wing doesn't like to be controlled and told how to think and how to talk. And they're just outward about it now. They're just open about it. The right wing has a free speech problem. The right wing has an independent media problem. That's what they're saying. And why are they saying it? All because of one issue, Israel. That's it. That's it. Don't play games with us. We're obviously smarter than you. That's why we're going to cost you the midterms. We're smarter than you. We're better than you. So don't you think you can play games with us? You don't think we know what this is all about? This is all about your precious Israel. And you're mad that the right-wing media is diverse and independent and not pro-Israel and not all in for Israel like you are, so you're pissed. So now you want to censor us. Now you want to attack us. You want to destroy us. You want to censor us, just like the woke left did. Now it's the woke right. We've been here before. We're battle-hardened. We're war-tested. We've been through the censorship. The woke left already came for us. We're still here. So now it's the woke right. Bring it on. There it is. The right wing has a free speech problem. There's your woke right. I invite the left. Take it. Take the mantle. Take the First Amendment mantle. Rip the First Amendment torch from the right wing's hands. It's loosely gripped. It's slipping. They don't even want it anymore. It's too hot for them. Take it, libs. Take it. It's yours. Somebody has to support free speech in this country. If the right wing isn't interested anymore, if the Republicans aren't interested anymore, somebody step up. Who wants to do it? This is only going to get worse. I've got more of it in the news today. This is only going to get worse. So, hey, I'm just a truth teller. That's all I am. I'm not affiliated with anything other than truth. And the truth is, for about 8 years, the right wing had a strong grip on the torch of free speech. The right wing had a stranglehold on the torch of the First Amendment. We stood up for free speech. We believed in the First Amendment. We fought for the First Amendment. Not anymore. Now the right wing, the grip has loosened. It's slipping out of the hands. They might even just toss it. They actually might just throw it here soon. They don't even want anything to do with it because free speech is too dangerous to them, specifically because you don't support Israel. That's all this is about. That's all they care about. So here you go, Democrats. Here you go, liberals. They've done it. You guys lost your claim as the free speech champions. You guys lost your claim as the torchbearers for the First Amendment. It can be yours now. The right wing doesn't want it anymore. The Republicans don't want it anymore. The Israeli lobby is trying to crush it. They're trying to put the flame on the torch of free speech out. They're trying to knock the flame out. So Democrats, liberals, step up, take it. It's yours. Do you want it? You can have it now. Somebody's got to do it, even if you don't mean it. The right clearly never meant it. So why not you guys step up and use it? That's what this is all about. Who wants to take that torch? I don't know. They say, we're sick of free speech on the right. We're sick of the First Amendment on the right. Well, you know what? We're sick of killing kids. How about that? Over 100 children among nearly 800 killed by Israeli strikes on Lebanon. Between Gaza, between Iran, the United States and Israel have probably killed thousands of innocent children. Thousands. We're sick of that. Oh, you call yourself a Christian, but you have nothing to say about the innocent dead children. You're a fraud. You're a phony. You need to repent. You need to get right with God. You've lost your soul. If you're more upset over free speech on the right than you are dead, innocent children in the Middle East, you have lost your way. You need to reevaluate your Christian ethos and your ethics and your morals. No, they're more interested in silencing the First Amendment than they are trying to save children. Even the Pope gets it. Pope Leo says Christians who start wars should go to confession. Well, how many of them are Christians? Pope Leo says Christians that start wars need to go to confession. So I ask in response, how many of them are even Christian?
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
All right, guys, it's true. The market is insane right now. A lot of people are concerned where the stock market goes from here. But more and more people are looking at precious metals, and maybe it's time for you to do the same. This is why I've partnered with Allegiance Gold, and you can go to protectwithowen.com and do the same. Now, here's why I like Allegiance Gold. Now, let's say you've got some questions. You've got questions about the market, volatility, precious metals, what have you. Just give them a call. The call is free. No pressure, nothing else needed. Just a simple phone call. 844-790-9191. 844-790-9191. Give my friends at Allegiance Gold a call with any questions, any concerns you have. A free phone call, no pressure at all. Allegiance is trusted around the country by nearly 10,000 clients. Relationship-driven, A+ with the Better Business Bureau, folks. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. And they focus on educating you first. That's what the phone call is all about. And right now, they're offering up to $5,000 in free gold and silver with qualified investments. You heard that right. $5,000 in free gold and silver with qualified investments, whether through your 401k, IRA, or savings. They make it simple to move into something real. So pick up the phone, give them a call, 844-790-9191, or go to protectwithowen.com. That's protectwithowen.com. Protect your wealth because no one else will.
Political light years ahead of the rest. It's the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
So you got CPAC coming up. I have been invited. I really, I don't like it. I'm kind of over the political schmoozing. It's like, oh, you got to go. You got to get content. You got to get content. Yeah, well, anybody can go get cheap content. We'll see. I had one invite that was curious. I had one invite that sparked my curiosity that I may follow through with, but for the most part, I'm just like, it's all so cringe now. It's all so watered down now. It's all meaningless now. Go get the content. Okay. Yeah. Go get the content. I've done that before. They kick me out. So what do you want? Anyway, I'm not sure they want me there, but they do want Josh Hammer. And just so you know, Josh Hammer, who says Jew hatred is inherent in the European DNA. Europe will never change. Jew hatred is inherent in its collective DNA. I believe that's what you call a bigot. I believe that's what you call a racist. But that's all fine and good. That will be a speaker at CPAC. You know, Josh Hammer, a hammer for conservative values, a hammer for conservative speech, a hammer for pro-America causes. You know, he's so well known as the pro-America patriot. He's going to be at CPAC. He's going to tell you about how bad anti-Semitism is and how important it is to support Israel. That's why he's invited. You know, I've kind of left Paula White alone, Trump's supposed spiritual advisor. I've left her alone for the most part. But in case you don't know of her, this woman is truly strange, if I'm being polite, sick in the head, if I'm going all the way. This has to be the most phony, I don't even know what you would call it, Christian activist, Christian performance artist. If you ever have seen her work, it's truly crazy. It's truly insane. And this is apparently Trump's spiritual advisor. Well, how would Paula White become Trump's spiritual advisor? Perhaps past the looks. Well, let's see. Here she is with Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's see here.
Just so honored to be sitting up here with, I believe, God's chosen for everyone. Israel and me being here.
There it is. Paula White believes that the Jews are God's chosen, and she's so happy to serve them. There it is. I'm just curious. Like, I just want to know. I've never had any Jewish person come up to me and ask me to, remind them about how chosen they are and that they're better than me. No, I live in America where all men are created equal. So I'm just curious when we're going to have this conversation. Maybe Josh Hammer, maybe Laura Loomer. Can you guys enlighten me? Am I a second-class citizen? Am I not created equal in my own country, despite the Bill of Rights, the Constitution? I'm just curious. Hey, Paula White. Hey, Donald Trump. Am I a lesser person because I'm not Jewish? I'm just trying to figure this out. It seems that you guys believe that, but I'd like to know for sure. So if that's how you feel, can you please just say it? I appreciate the ones that are transparent about it. I appreciate the racial supremacists that are actually, open and honest about it. It's like, oh, if you come out as a black supremacist, you're going to get pushback. You come out as a white supremacist, you're the bad guy. But the Jewish supremacist, that's everyone's supposed to believe that. So I actually appreciate the transparency that that's how these people think. And that's actually, it would make sense. It would make sense that that's why the foreign policy is the way it is. It would make sense that that's why we have laws protecting God's chosen people. And so I guess, for anyone else out there, for any other, second-class American, it's just a reminder that you are a second-class person to a Jewish person because they're God's chosen, not you. And Jesus Christ didn't come to redeem all men. And whether you believe any of that doesn't matter because we have a constitution that says all men are created equal. But I guess throw all that out the window, right, Paula? Throw all of that out the window. Right, guys? Come on now. I just want to understand why I'm being treated this way. Laura Loomer. Oh, my gosh. Just when you think she can't go any lower. She is now reporting Tucker Carlson to the FBI and to the DOJ for foreign influence. So Laura Loomer says this as a pro-Israel influencer who was in India. So she's in a foreign country. She certainly favors a foreign country in her coverage. She's in a foreign country. She does favoritism for a country, and then she says she's calling the feds on Tucker Carlson for foreign influence. And then she says, I can't wait to see Tucker Carlson go to prison. So, bingo. Never doubt me, folks. What did I tell you? I told you the woke right would be calling for imprisoning journalists. Did I call that one or not? Man, we had that one. We had that one from a mile away. I told you. I told you they'd be calling for censorship. I told you they'd be calling for imprisonment. Saw it a mile away. Saw that one a mile away. And we're just getting started, too. Trump demands death penalty for reporters and unhinged war rants. Yeah, he makes these Truth Social posts now that are like entire essays. It's like nobody's reading that. Shows he's crashing out. Shows he knows he's losing the people badly. It's like, oh, he couldn't have said this stuff in the first administration when they were actually acting against the country's interests. So this is what you get with Laura Loomer and Mark Levin and Susie Wiles running the show. So now the right wing is going to be pro-censorship and the right wing is going to start throwing journalists in prison. We'll be lucky if that doesn't happen. And then he goes on this rant defending Mark Levin because Megyn Kelly called him micro penis Mark over the weekend. That one really seemed to hit a chord. Mark Levin was so distraught over Megyn Kelly's nickname, micro penis Mark, that I think she called the president. Hey, Donald, I need your help. I don't know if you saw, but Megyn Kelly called me a micro penis, Mr. President. You might know something about that. Can you help me out? Can you scold Megyn Kelly? I can't have, my name is the Great One. I can't be having people calling me micro penis Mark. Now that's what they're calling me, micro penis Mark. It's all they know me as, micro penis Mark. I labeled myself the Great One. I'm the Great One. I'm the great Mark Levin. Now they call me micro penis Mark. Mr. President, please. After all I've done for you, can you defend me against Megyn Kelly? Can you come out and make a truth social post about Megyn Kelly? Can you defend the status of my male member? My male member needs this defense, Mr. President. It can't even stand on its own. And when it does, they still can't see it, Mr. President, please. I need you on this one. I will not have Megyn Kelly insulting the stature or lack thereof of my male member. Wow, Mark, seems like she really hit you hard with that one, huh? Well, I'll make a Truth Social post for you, Mark. Will that make you feel any better? It won't help that small thing you got down there, but we'll give it a go. So he does a whole post in defense of Mark Levin's micro penis. This is where we're at. This is where the administration is at. Laura Loomer picks up the phone. Mr. President, everybody loves these bombs. Kill more kids, Mr. President. Kill them all. Kill all the Muslims, Mr. President. We want them all dead, Mr. President. We love you. Oh, please arrest Tucker Carlson, too. Please arrest any journalist that doesn't support us, Mr. President. You're the best ever. Oh, Mr. President. You're so popular, Donald. Oh, you've never been more popular. Everybody loves when you blow up children. Everybody loves when you blow up the Middle East. Keep breaking your promises, Mr. President. I'll be here for you. Whatever you need. On my knees, Mr. President. That's Trump's Saturday night. And then Trump's Sunday night is Mark Levin asking him to defend his male member. That's where this administration is at. Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm stunned. I'm stunned we're not favored to win in the midterms, guys. With the likes of Mark Levin and Laura Loomer guiding President Trump, how could you lose with two popular figures like that? Just very well liked by all sides of the political spectrum. Loomer and Levin, they are so liked. They are so popular, you know? I'm just stunned that with their guidance and their advice that all of a sudden Republicans are set to lose the midterms and Trump's approval rating keeps sinking. I just can't put it together, guys. Mark Levin, he'll never be the same. He'll never be the same. He'll never be able to go on air and look the same. He's going to go on Fox News and he's going to be thinking, he'll be talking, but he'll be thinking, everybody knows I have a small member. Everybody knows I have a small member. Oh my gosh. Mark will never be the same. Megyn Kelly will live in Mark Levin's head rent-free for the rest of his broadcast career. Wow. So we got another one of these Jewish conferences. These things seem to happen every weekend, and they just get crazier with the things that they say. So they want to imprison you. So actually it goes like this. I know from experience. So get ready. This is the woke right doing this now. The woke left is done. So it's the woke right. They sue you, they censor you, they imprison you, and then they kill you. So let's check in on the Jewish conference this weekend. Certainly they wouldn't want to kill you, though. They wouldn't go that far.
Tomorrow night is Purim. And I think it's clear to all of us now that the best way to fight anti-Semitism is to take out Haman with an F-15.
Oh, that's great. So you don't support Israel. We're going to take you out with an F-15. Great. Love it. Thank you. Nice. That's where we're at now. So they can't silence us. They're going to try to imprison us. And when that doesn't work, they're going to go with the F-15 approach. I just hope they don't consider us Amalek or whatever that is. I guess this lady does. Former U.S. anti-Semitism czar Deborah Lipstadt She wants you to know you're Amalek.
Those of us who were in synagogue yesterday heard Parshat Zachor. Very brief reading from Deuteronomy, from Dvarim, about Amalek. What Amalek did to you when you were leaving, when you were tired and weary. They attacked you from behind. Why from behind? Because that's where the weak and the elderly and the children were. And
who's killing all the children right now, by the way?
It was easier for them to get at you. So what are we told to do? Al tishkach, don't forget, Zachor, remember, and Timche, wipe them out.
Nice. Yeah, I love this. This is happening in New York City, guys. I love it. In New York City, they're telling you that because they can't silence anti-Israel speech, they're just going to go ahead and wipe you out. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Wipe them all out. Wipe the Amalek out. Let's put Josh Hammer and this Jewish conference in charge of the American military. They'll start bombing American cities. This whole place will look like Gaza. I love it. Josh Hammer, all white people are inherently anti-Semitic. And by the way, you just heard it from this weekend, this annual weekend Jewish conference. All anti-Semites need to be killed. So they view anyone that doesn't support the Israeli government or Netanyahu as an anti-Semite. And then they believe the only way to deal with you is to hit you with an F-15, to wipe you out. It's their own words. So congratulations, guys. This is definitely not how people with micro penises talk. That's how people with big, confident members talk right there. When you've got a big, confident male member, you talk about how you want to wipe out kids and how you want to imprison people and censor people and kill anybody that disagrees with you. That's how big men members think. So they're going to blame us for everything. I saw a lot of this over the weekend. This message is for the following. I'm actually upset. I wasn't mentioned by name, so I'm going to do a little bit more here. I need to do more. This message is for the following. Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Glenn Greenwald, Candace Owens, Hodge Twins, Nick Fuentes, MTG, Massey, Rand Paul, the Hodge Twins, Bannon, and anyone I left out. So basically all the people that have influence in the right wing. Like all the people that can actually move the needle on the right. Who else you got without those people? But I'm mad I'm not on there. She says, if Republicans lose the midterms and or heaven forbid the 2028 presidency, most, if not all blame will fall solely on your shoulders. Well, I don't know if they want it. She says, no forgiveness will be given. I do want it, though. She says, no forgiveness will be given. Very Christian of you. Very Christian. We won't forgive you for thinking independently. We won't forgive you for not being in our cult. We will never forgive you. We will always remember. It's your fault we lost the midterms, not because we partnered with Mark Levin and Laura Loomer and Netanyahu that nobody likes. It's your fault. Oh, no forgiveness will be given. Very Christian for different political opinions. From this point forward, I will work as hard as I can to do all I know to combat your narratives with the truth. Good luck. Name one narrative that's not true. Good luck. I am excited, but I am upset. Where is my name? I want the blame. I'm the reason why you will lose the midterms. Go ahead. Blame it on me. I'm more influential than Trump. See, this is the big joke now. This is why we have to lean in. This is why we have to trigger them. This is why we have to mog them. If you actually believe that any of the people you mentioned have more influence than Trump or the results of this administration, then that's just how big of a clown you are. That's why you put on the clown makeup and you probably still wear the clown hat, the MAGA hat. So I'm done playing serious with you guys. You guys are total clowns. And so yes, you're right. We are more influential than Trump. We are more influential than you. We are popular. We have all the audience. We move the needle. We are cool. We are better looking. We are smarter. So yes, it's because you lost us that you will lose the midterms. I fully accept it now. I fully accept it. So you guys can ride or die with Mark Levin, Laura Loomer, and Benjamin Netanyahu and James Lindsay and whatever other cuck brigade, whatever other chubby cuck brigade that you guys have. And you will lose. You will. And so you all see it now. We told you this last year. You called us panicans. Now you realize that we're right. And instead of embracing us and saying, hey, you guys were right, what can we do? Instead, you double down and you want to blame us for everything because Trump can't deliver. And Trump has backstabbed his base. And you guys think Lindsey Graham is more popular than Thomas Massie. So there you go. But I love how they admit, yes, either they're just total liars or they're admitting that Trump is not influential anymore. They are not influential anymore. MAGA is not influential anymore. And so therefore they're going to lose the midterms and they're going to blame it on us because they've lost all influence. They've lost all popularity. Nobody likes them anymore. Or maybe, just maybe, it's because Trump and this administration has failed. It's because the GOP and the Republican Party has failed. Just maybe. But you guys apparently like failures. So you're sticking around. And here comes the FCC. Woo, woo, Brandon Carr. Broadcasters that are running hoaxes and news distortions, also known as the fake news, have a chance now to correct course before their license renewals come up. What are we talking about here? The law is clear. Broadcasters must operate in the public interest, and they will lose their licenses if they do not. And frankly, changing courses in their own business interests, since trust in legacy media has now fallen to an all-time low of 9% and our ratings disasters. The American people have subsidized broadcasters to the tunes of billions of dollars by providing free access to the nation's airwaves. It is important to bring back trust into the media, which has earned itself the label of fake news. When a political candidate is able to win a landslide victory after in the face of hoaxes and distortions, there is something very wrong. It means the public has lost faith and confidence in the media. We can't allow that to happen. Time for change. So what are they signaling exactly? What is he signaling exactly? Now, I don't know, Brandon Carr, take him or leave him. I think this was motivated by something that Trump told him to do, and that's why he shared this this post here from Trump. Yet again, an intentionally misleading headline by the fake news media about the 5 tanker planes that were supposedly struck down at an airport in Saudi Arabia and of no further use. It was hit a few days ago, but the planes were not struck or destroyed. So who knows? That's why I said I'm not going any boots on the ground stuff, because who really knows what's going on? But so what are we saying? So you're going to pull what? NBC off the air? How do you plan to do this? So this isn't exactly common knowledge. And actually, it used to be more enforced than it is today. But in order to go on radio airwaves, you actually had to have an updated license. You had to have a broadcaster's license to go on the radio. That's virtually a non-starter these days. I'm young enough. I've been on the radio since 2000 and I guess 11. 2011 is when I made my professional debut on terrestrial radio. I've never had a licensing card. What, are you going to come after me? Nobody has them anymore. If you were on the radio in the 90s, you might have one. That's like how far this stuff goes back. You'd have to be like in the 90s to actually have a broadcast license. So nobody does that anymore. Now, these networks, in order to get the terrestrial airwaves, they have to have a broadcast license. All of this is coming to an end anyway. So I don't really know exactly what they're threatening. I guess there are still networks that rely on that terrestrial access to make their money. But most of these companies will just switch to internet-based anyway, where the laws and regulations essentially don't exist like they do in terrestrial broadcasting, whether it's TV or radio. So what are they going to do in response? Now, the irony is, as we saw with like CNN Plus or we saw with Bill O'Reilly, yeah, once these networks go off air or once an individual leaves these networks, for the most part, it's over. Nobody cares. Nobody followed CNN onto the internet. Nobody followed Bill O'Reilly onto the internet. in the new media landscape, in the independent media and the internet, you have to have your own inherent value. That's why Tucker Carlson left Fox News, was as big or bigger than ever. Bill O'Reilly left Fox News, became completely irrelevant. So that's the new wave of the media. But see, I wonder if they're going to actually do anything about this other than try to influence these networks to start doing more favorable coverage to keep that license. Because they probably know, too, that, hey, if we don't have these terrestrial airwaves, if we don't get access to terrestrial television or cable television, we'll have zero ratings at all. So maybe that's what they're trying to do, is pin them down on that. Now, Trump is bragging. Trump is bragging about what he's done to reshape the media. They actually posted this. President Trump is reshaping the media, and he talks about all the people that are now gone. And then he talks about all the quote-unquote reforms. It's funny that, saved TikTok, free speech on X, that was Musk. So like half of this stuff he didn't even have anything to do with. Truth Social booming. I don't know anybody on Truth Social except for people that just want to get Trump's posts. Well, whatever you think about this, good or bad, can you imagine if President Biden is reshaping the media and it talked about all the different things that Biden did to reshape the media? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what people would be saying? If logic can't be applied universally, it's not logic, it's propaganda. Zero chance in hell that if President Biden did anything and posted anything like this, that people that wear MAGA hats wouldn't be screaming about it. But Trump does it, and it's okay. By the way, he cut himself in on the deal. This stuff is crazy, man. Trump administration set to receive $10 billion fee for brokering TikTok deal. Huh. The Trump administration is set to receive a roughly $10 billion fee from investors in the recently completed deal to take control of TikTok's U.S. business, the Wall Street Journal reported on Friday. So they're cutting themselves in. They cut themselves in for $10 billion on the deal, the quote-unquote Trump administration. Wonder where that money is going to end up. You know, it's funny. I don't remember who posted this. I just have the image here. So the official New York Times headline, Jared Kushner solicits funds for his firm while working as Mideast envoy. President Trump's son-in-law is trying to raise $5 billion or more from foreign governments and others for his private equity firm. So that's the New York Times. Now, if you haven't noticed, and this is just true, the mainstream media, the mainstream press, and even some of these left-wing outlets like the New York Times have been way more favorable to this administration than the last. Way more favorable. They used to be committed anti-Trump around the clock. Now they mostly kind of either go neutral or negative, but not outright anti-Trump. And this is proof. If the New York Times was still doing anti-Trump coverage, this is how it would actually read. Jared Kushner solicits bribes from the Trump family while working as Mideast envoy. President Trump's son-in-law is trying to raise $5 billion or more from foreign governments and others to get favors from Trump. If the New York Times and the rest of the mainstream media was still anti-Trump, that's what this headline was read. If this was the first Trump administration, that's how this headline was read. But because it's the second and they're more friendly to him now for whatever reason, maybe litigation, maybe other reasons, they like to massage these stories a little bit more. They like to massage them. How would you feel if Joe Biden gave Wall Street bankers access to the Pentagon? Well, you'd probably be outraged, but you're not hearing that from MAGA people. Wall Street bankers offered lucrative access to join the Pentagon. A presentation from a headhunting firm aimed to recruit Wall Street investors to the Pentagon by offering unmatched access to government officials and fundraising opportunities among foreign sovereigns. So we're bringing in Wall Street now to run the Pentagon. That's great. We're so we can just let's just have more money stolen from us. That's the Trump administration. Now remember, Biden We had the all-time low oil reserves under Biden. Not anymore. Trump now takes the claim. Planned release of strategic reserves would put the U.S. supplies at lowest level in 44 years. The Trump administration ordered the release of 172 million barrels of oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve this week, making it the second largest release from the reserve in its history after former President Biden's 2022 withdrawal of 180 million barrels. The move was meant to stem oil prices, which hovered over $100 a barrel on Friday. So this is where it was when Biden released. Now it's about half that. Now we have half what we had. So that's nice. The strategic oil. Hope it all works out. Hope it all works out because our strategic petroleum reserves are the lowest they've been in almost half a century. And Trump did that, not Biden. Well, they both did, really. But Trump got to make that claim. Nations rebuff Trump's call to send warships to the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, who had that one? Who had that one day one? Oh, that would be us at the Owen Report. Everyone was saying, NATO and the EU will team up with America and Israel. I said, yeah, right. I think America will be isolated in its support for Israel. Well, I don't know if it's fully isolated yet, but the chips are starting to fall, and there ain't many. There ain't many on our side. Nations rebuff Trump's call to send warships to the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump has urged China, Britain, France, and Japan and South Korea to send warships to help reopen the waterway, even though they are not involved in the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran. And these other nations are saying, we don't want to get involved in this Middle East war. We've seen what it's done to your country. We're not interested. We've seen how the Middle East has gutted your country. We've seen how the Middle East has forced the United States of America to spend trillions of dollars and blood and treasure in the Middle East. We're not getting involved. So that's how that one's going. Probably smart. European leaders reject military involvement in Strait of Hormuz. Pushback comes as U.S. President Donald Trump says NATO allies should help secure key waterway amid soaring oil prices. So you have to wonder, because they keep making the claim, and again, it's like Trump's word means nothing now. But he keeps making the claim. I don't think anybody, honestly, I think the whole world looks at Trump as just nothing now. I think they look at him as a madman, and they just are waiting for him to be gone at this point. So Trump's like, well, I don't know why they won't do it. We don't need the oil. Everyone else does. Okay, perhaps by the numbers, but something is missing. Something is missing in this picture, and I can't quite put my finger on it. But something is missing from this picture. Because it would seem like, as far as U.S. interests are concerned, oil going through the Strait of Hormuz is, we could kind of be indifferent to that. You'd think on paper, logistically, we would be indifferent to that. And so why is Trump so desperate to keep this oil moving through the Strait of Hormuz when no other country is so desperate? Why is it Trump that's showing that desperation? Now, if I look at it from the just geopolitical aspect, I would say, well, these other countries, and it's basically been confirmed that Iran has told everyone else, you guys can get a passage to the Strait of Hormuz. But if you're an American or Israeli, if you're doing business with America or Israel, or you're an oil tanker that's going to do business with them out of America or Israel, then you're going to get blown up. So it looks like, and this is where the Trump administration comes on here and says, we want to control the media. Now, let's say what I'm saying is wrong or right. They want to be able to shut me up. So it looks like the Strait of Hormuz is still being controlled by Iran, which of course would go against everything Trump is saying. Trump says we're in control, so this is why we need boots on the ground, apparently, whatever. It's all nonsense. But that's what they want. They don't want me to come on air today and say it looks like Iran is in control of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, I'll admit that could be inaccurate. I'm not saying I know for sure. There's so much propaganda coming out of that area, I don't know for sure what's going on. So all I can do is look at the evidence that we know, which is Iran says anyone doing business with America or Israel cannot get through the Strait of Hormuz. The European countries have said, hey, we're not involved in this war. Okay. And then Trump comes out and says, we need to get control of the strait to get oil moving through it, but it also doesn't affect us. But all the countries that it does affect said, hey, we're not getting involved. So something is missing here. Something is missing as far as why Trump is pressing so hard in the Strait of Hormuz when all the other countries that are more affected by the flow of energy through the Strait of Hormuz are all balking and saying, hey, we're good. What do you think is the missing link there? Obviously, Trump is not being fully honest, but why? What is the missing link? If we don't need that oil, then why are we there? If we have no interest on oil going through the Strait of Hormuz, then why are we talking about boots on the ground? What are we missing here? If that oil doesn't affect us, then why are we making such a big fuss about it? There's a missing link there. I don't know what it is, but something doesn't add up. Something does not add up in the Strait of Hormuz as far as the rhetoric we're getting out of the Trump administration. Something doesn't add up. Then there's China. Trump signals possible delay to Beijing summit as U.S. pressures China to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this is kind of funny because I think this is Trump still thinking people care. I don't know if China cares as much right now, to be honest. Is this Trump saying, oh, I'm not going to come to your country? It's like nobody cares anymore, dude. You don't carry the same weight. You don't have the same aura. You don't have the same hero champion aura anymore. You just have deep state sellout now. You have neocon sellout aura now. It's not cool. Nobody cares. Is that Trump? Oh, I'm not coming to see you in China. You don't get to see me. Me, great granddaddy Trump, the best human on earth, the most popular man around. I'm not coming to China anymore. It's like, okay. Is that the move here? So China's not cooperating with America on this war. They're not cooperating on the strait. So Trump says, fine, I'm not coming to your party. In an interview with the Financial Times Sunday, Trump said he expected China to help unblock the strait before he travels to Beijing for a summit with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Both sides appeared to increase pressure ahead of the high-stakes summit. Data suggests China may be less exposed to the Hormuz disruption than Trump suggested. What is really going on in the Strait of Hormuz that has Trump so befuddled here? Honestly, there's so much fog of war. There's so much propaganda. It's so hard to know what's really going on. Except it's not popular. That's for damn sure. Taiwan reports large-scale Chinese military aircraft presence near island. The Defense Ministry detected 26 Chinese military aircraft around the island Saturday. Now, logistically, strategically speaking, Taiwan is a much more important ally than Israel, and I think we might find that out if China makes this move and cuts us off. Israel is not really an ally. Israel, it's like it's woke right. Israel is it's like Black Lives Matter, you know. It's like, oh, we have to support Israel. It's God's chosen people. It's the land of the Bible. And really all it is Benjamin Milikowski and a bunch of leaders of Israel who changed their European names using America to just steal a bunch of money. To just steal a bunch of money for their interests and then use our foreign policy to benefit them and our military to benefit them. That's the partnership there. There's no ally. There's no ally. That's why whenever they try to make these arguments about how Israel benefits America, you're like, what? So no, Taiwan, if we lost Taiwan, that would actually impact our bottom line. So we'll see. China is looking around and they think maybe this is the time to go in. Well, what is our military going to do? Not much right now. We're too involved in Ukraine. We're too involved in the Middle East. China resumes military flights around Taiwan after sudden 10-day hiatus. Are they getting ready for something? Beijing hasn't explained why it abruptly stopped what had become a routine practice, nor its resumption. Well, this probably has something to do not just with the war, but with Trump about to go to China. China knowing that Taiwan is way more important for the America logistically speaking than Israel is. And so maybe he's trying to force Trump's hand here as well, trying to leverage that. You'd see real pain if we were cut off from Taiwan. You'd see virtually nothing. You'd see virtually no change of life except maybe more money in your pocket and less terrorism if we decoupled and divorced from Israel. If we decoupled and divorced from Taiwan, you would start to see bottom lines in the tech industry. Switzerland bans U.S. overflights linked to combat in Iran war. So Switzerland wants nothing to do with it. Virtually like every other European nation has told America, nope, we're not involved. You're on your own. And then what is this doing? Our allies are now looking at China. Top U.S. allies are turning toward China instead. Blame Trump. European allies broadly support building closer ties to China and believe America's role as a global superpower is fading. Now, I saw this happening years ago, and BRICS was kind of the first. BRICS was like the first thing that was tangible, if you will, politically tangible to say, okay, there is now a move against America. It's no longer just the EU trying to build a coalition to counter America. Now you've got BRICS trying to build a coalition to counter America. But for the most part, we still had better partnerships. We were still more loyal, whatever. People would rather work with us than China. Russia maybe being the most important. But because of the foreign policy now, I mean, you could say American foreign policy since the turn of the 21st century, but specifically America's foreign policy in the second Trump administration, now people don't want to deal with us anymore. And now they're looking at China. And think about it. This is all of it. The entire American empire is now being gambled in the Middle East. Our entire way of life, our entire empire, our blood, our treasure, yet again, it's all being gambled in the Middle East. And if this thing goes the wrong way for us, you will see the end of the American empire. And it won't just be the things that we can comprehend. You know, you go downtown, you see the homelessness, the poverty, the crime, whatever. No, you'll start to see real results like dollar collapsing, energy skyrocketing. I mean, you'll really start to see it at that point. And Trump is risking the entire thing right now in the Middle East. And you have to wonder, is he doing this on his own volition? Is he doing this for other interests? Is he doing this because he has no choice? Why are we gambling the entire future of America's empire in the Middle East? Or do they already know it's collapsed, so they're just going for broke on behalf of Israel while everything else is collapsing anyway? Like Cuba. What are we doing over there? You know, we got some involvement in this. Cuba's national energy grid collapses, sparking nationwide blackout. Officials in Cuba reported an island-wide blackout Monday in the country of some 11 million people as its energy and economic crisis deepened. Cuba has blamed its woes on a U.S. energy blockade after President Trump in January warned of tariffs on any country that sells or provides oil to it. So Trump's put Cuba in a chokehold. I don't know why, but okay. So we're also dealing with Cuba now. Meanwhile, this is hilarious. Trump to formally name J.D. Vance chair of the fraud task force. He did this today with California, New York among states in crosshairs. So we're having a fraud task force. Now, this was supposed to be Doge. So it's all just fake. President Trump will sign an executive order Monday afternoon, formally creating a benefits fraud task force chaired by Vice President J.D. Vance. the president's designee to lead a nationwide war on fraud. Yeah, that's like Kamala Harris is the border czar. Vance will join Trump in the Oval Office for the signing, underscoring the president's continued emphasis on the project after highlighting a social services scam in Minneapolis that has led to dozens of indictments, including a phony nutrition and autism care programs. This is hilarious. First of all, the vast majority of those indictments were from years ago. They didn't even happen during the Trump administration. As far as new indictments, I've seen like 6 maybe. And those are all in Minnesota. So nothing on the California fraud, nothing on the Illinois fraud, nothing on all the other fraud that's been exposed across the entire country. Just a couple of cases there. This is because they completely failed with Doge. They're doing a shell game now to pretend like they're actually interested in cracking down on this fraud. I'd be shocked if this resulted in very many arrests or anything changing at all. This is what Doge was supposed to be doing. This is what Doge was on its way to do. This is what independent journalists have been exposing across the country in the last 6 months. So this is all theater in my eyes. I hope I'm wrong. But as you can tell, I'm not too concerned. I'm not too concerned that this move is nothing more than theater and very little, if any, will result from it. Because if they really were interested in doing this, then Doge would have gone all the way. So I'm not too concerned I'm going to be wrong about that. Trump fundraising email uses photo from soldiers' dignified transfer and promises private national security briefings. So he's getting a hard time. I don't know. Who knows who even chose the photo. But they chose this photo for Trump's new fundraising effort, and it's him at the dignified transfer. You know, the dead soldiers and the soldiers blurred out. It's all about him. So, okay, maybe you say it's not a good look. What's stranger is, so they're giving Wall Street access to the Pentagon, and now he says if you donate to this political action committee, it promises access to the president's private national security briefings. So that's probably totally BS anyway. The email sent by Never Surrender promotes what is called its national security briefing membership and urges recipients to claim your spot with multiple links to donate in what it describes as an exclusive group receiving updates about national security threats. So the whole thing is probably BS. Yeah, you probably get on some email chain and they'll just send you more fundraising requests that tell you something that's probably already in the news. I doubt they're giving you any real exclusive national security briefings there. But, you know, I will say Trump is good at this stuff. I don't know if I've ever talked about this before because I really didn't care this much. But now I'm wondering, in 2016 or maybe it was 2015, I don't remember. It was the first time I ever donated to a presidential campaign. I had gotten involved in some local ones, but this was the first I'd ever done for a presidential campaign. I made a donation. It was either 2015 or 2016. Some of you might have even recalled this. Some of you might have done this, actually. Trump sends out an email. I believe it was 2015. Could have been 2016. Trump sends out an email, and he says he's building a wall of donors, a physical gold wall of donors. I think he said he was going to put it in New York or maybe Mar-a-Lago. I can't remember. He said he was making a wall, and if you crossed a certain donation threshold, then they would put your name on this donor wall. I think it was like $100. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So I donated whatever it was to get on Trump's donor wall. This is when Trump was cool, before he sold us all out. And did that ever happen? I'm just curious. Can I go somewhere and find my name in the Trump donor wall? Is it in Trump Tower? I don't think it's at Mar-a-Lago. If it was at Mar-a-Lago, I think people would have taken their picture with it and everything. I feel like it's the same. Did he ever do that? Or was that just another campaign money grab? And no, they never made a wall. They never intended to make a wall. So if you really think Trump fundraising email slammed for offering access to national security briefings, people call his action treasonous. Well, I don't think anybody's getting any national security briefings. It's a ploy. It's a pitch. It's a money grab. They'll send you some headline about a story. You're not getting anything exclusive. This is nothing more than a sham money grab. That's where MAGA is at. They're good to see where they're at. Meghan McCain. So a bunch of people, Meghan McCain says, stop sharing dead people's text messages, you absolute psychopaths. How about stop killing kids, you absolute psychopaths? So what's happening is a bunch of people have shared, I guess, in the last couple of days, because, you know, it's a hot topic. People have shared text messages that they had with Charlie Kirk right before he died. And Meghan McCain takes this personally. So basically what you have is people sharing text messages of Charlie right before he died, expressing negativity towards Israel's interests in some way, shape, or form. There's all these people he was texting with, talking about how the Israel issue was getting too much. He was out. It was bad politics, whatever. And then right after all of that, he gets shot in the neck. So a bunch of people are sharing these text messages as this war is ongoing, and he was against it. You stand against a war, you might not make it, you know. So it's funny to me, though. So, okay, you're upset that people are sharing these messages that they had with Charlie, and yet they're literally doing a show every day called the Charlie Kirk Show. When do we shut that down? I'm just curious. I mean, to me, it's like, so we don't like people sharing their messages with Charlie that show where he stood on these politics when people are using his show and his name and his likeness to promote political ideas and policies that Charlie did not support. And that's why they share the messages. They're saying, hey, this is how Charlie really felt right before he died. Why are you lying? And for some reason, for some odd reason, these people don't like the truth.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
All right, take your blackout coffee break, guys. It's that time. Take your blackout coffee break, blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. I have to tell you, I've become a bit of a sucker. I've become a bit of a sucker for the single serve pods. Something has come over me, and this is all I want now. I am out of still my favorite, the double dark chocolate. But I have been enjoying the hazelnut cream. I've got to try a couple more. I got to place an order here. I think I'm going to try the caramel cream. How could I not? And then I think I want something fruity. I think I want to try the blueberry crumble too. I think I want something fruity this time around. I've become a sucker for these single serve pods, man. I don't know why. I've become such a sucker. They're so easy. They're so convenient. They taste great. Just, you know, one and done. It's great in the morning. If you need a quick cup, you can go do it right now. Right now, you can go to your coffee maker. Everybody's got the single serve pod coffee maker now. You can have one by the end of this break. Blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. They've got whole bags too, whole bean or ground. They've got the best instant coffee on the market as well. Folks, if you haven't tried out our friends at Blackout Coffee, the official coffee of the Owen Report, 20% off your first order. 20% off your first order right now. Coupon code Owen, 20% off your first order. So if you haven't tried them, give them a try. Blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. Over 30 flavors in the single serve pods. And with coupon code Owen, you can get 20% off your first order.
No one can stop this. 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 No one can stop this.
It's the fastest 3 hours on the internet. It's the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
Trump says he's going to take Cuba. I think I can take it. I don't see what's stopping me from taking it. I'll just take it. I'll have the honor. It's mine now. I can do whatever I want with it. Oh, my gosh. Where does it end, guys? Where does all of this end? The conclusion is going to be electric, whatever it is. Like I said, I just hope we have a country left. I just hope when these boomer neocons are done with whatever they're going to do here, whatever loot they're going to steal, whatever country they're going to try to invade or bomb or whatever all of this happens, I just hope we have a country on the other side. That's it. Hope there's a country on this. I hope there's a country on the other side of 2028 for the left to fuck up. You know? It's like, the right is just, they are messing this country up. They are just screwing this country. So I just hope there's some country left for the left to screw when it's all said and done. And then maybe after all that screwing, maybe after all of that robbing, looting, and screwing the country, maybe sometime, I think the 2030s, folks, I really think it's going to be that long before we get a chance to save our country. I really do. I don't think the Democrats are going to do it. The Trump administration doesn't seem interested in doing it. So looks like we're going to have to wait till the 2030s, guys. Let's just hope we have a country left. That's the only issue. We're not sure. We're not sure at this point. We are sure of Mark Levin's status, though. That one was confirmed for us. So you had that big general, William McCausland, who went missing. He was the guy, apparently the top guy when it came to UFO files, alien encounters. He was the guy. He goes missing. This is right after Trump said he was going to release the alien files. This guy goes missing. Development over the weekend. Possible X-account of missing General William McCausland claimed fellow general was murdered over nuclear material. Online sleuths think they have uncovered missing retired Air Force General William Neil McCausland's anonymous social media account, which claimed another general was murdered for his dealings with nuclear material. McCausland, 68 years old, went missing from his Albuquerque, New Mexico home on February 27th. which is the same day that the person behind a conspicuously credentialed X account centered on spacecraft and advanced science made their last post. The account, TMB Spaceships, claims to be run by a retired 38-year active duty United States Air Force with a PhD in engineering, listing the Air Force Institute of Technology and the Air Education Training Command and Air Force Material Command as places they've worked. The account shockingly claimed just months before McCausland's disappearance that Major General John Rossi, who allegedly committed suicide in 2016, was actually murdered because of refusal to hand over nuclear material to private contractors. So very interesting stuff happening there. The missing general, who was apparently the big aliens guy, and then potentially him claiming that a General Rossi was murdered because of a nuclear issue. All right, we got some lighter stuff here. Let's see how far we want to go. I do have a bunch of leftovers we might want to get to. I got some lighter stuff before we go into the super chats, though. Take a look at this. This is very telling. I think there's multiple factors. Percentage, this is a graph we have on the screen here, a line graph. Percentage of K through 12 teachers who say they are very satisfied with their jobs. In 2008, 62% of teachers said they were very satisfied with their job. In 2022, that number has dropped to 12%. The biggest happening in the last 10 years. In 2012, it was at 39%. In 2022, it was at 12%. So I'm sure COVID had something to do with it. You know, these, I just feel like the classroom and school is so different now with smartphones and AI. Not to mention, I think that kids are getting more unruly in some of these situations. It's not even a teachable atmosphere. You can't even learn in it. I think that a lot of parents are refusing. They're just opting out of public schools, or they're homeschooling. So I think a lot of factors are leading to that. But when you have in the teens of a percentage of U.S. teachers saying they're satisfied with their job, you got a problem. You got a problem. I think that's like red alert territory, because if the teachers aren't satisfied, then they're not going to be teaching much, are they? They're not going to be very motivated to do a good job. That's something, you know what you could do, though? You know what you could probably do? You could cut teachers, and I'm not saying I necessarily support this, but maybe you could cut teachers a giant bonus. Say, instead of spending, $20 billion in another war in the Middle East to kill people, what if you spent $20 billion on America's education system, and you gave teachers a higher wage so that they were more motivated to work? It would be a more desirable job. And then you could even give them bonuses based off of classroom behavior and performance. It's just an idea. Instead of spending another $20 billion, the number's probably $30 billion, but we'll say 20. You just spent another $20 billion in the Middle East. Imagine what you could have done for education reform in our country, in the United States of America, for American children and American teachers. Imagine what $20 billion could have done for our education in this country. No, we're going to go burn it all up in the Middle East. It'll probably end up being 30, 40, maybe 50 or 100 when it's all said and done. Just an idea, just an idea. Kind of a big deal. Probably a bigger deal than, whatever the hell is going on in the Middle East for the last 10,000 years that we don't need anything to do with and shouldn't have anything to do with, probably like just let that stuff figured out. And, maybe we could help our country again, save our education system, save our country. Just an idea, But there it is, 12% in 2022, teacher satisfaction. That's a problem. Oh, now this video went major viral over the weekend. And it's this woman. Now it goes viral because she's doing some weird performance in this self-driving car. So people are making fun of her because of this, weird social media video. But you know what? This is what I'm here for. I pay attention to the details. I pay attention to the stuff that matters. Nobody else picked this up. So here's this girl. She's riding around in a Waymo car, a self-driving Waymo car. I'm not sure where. Tell me if you pick up the issue. Everybody's focused on her behavior, whatever. It's weird. No. Nobody picked up on the real issue here.
Hey, bitch, go back to home.
Connected to rider support. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Hello, this is Jay with Waymo. I'm just calling in just to request to buckle your seatbelt for your safety.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Where are you?
I'm doing it right now. Okay, I'm buckled in.
All right. Thank you for complying. That's all for me. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Bye.
So everybody was making fun of her for singing and dancing and, oh, look, crazy black woman in the car. I couldn't care less about that. The car basically called the police on her. The car said, you're not buckled up. I'm calling, and we're going to make you buckle up or we're going to stop the ride. Hello, introduction to Big Brother. Hello, introduction to the AI surveillance grid. Hello, introduction to the auto life. I can't believe everybody was just making fun of this girl for singing and dancing in the car. And I'm like, I really couldn't care less about that. Did you not notice that the car was obviously spying and listening and even knew it wasn't a buckled seatbelt and called Big Brother on her? This is where we're going. That's where we're going. I don't care about some girl with fake hair and nails or whatever dancing around. The damn car just reported her to Big Brother. Sorry. That's a little much for me. That's a little bit bigger of a deal than some girl dancing obnoxiously in an auto driver car. It's like, that's the point. But no. The Big Brother's always watching. All right. Well, is the World Cup even going to happen? I got to give America credit. They haven't had good soccer jerseys in years. I think they finally got one right, guys. I think that they finally got one right. This one right here is a winner. This one I am a big fan of. That's going to look really nice on the pitch. They're going to sell out of these ones, I bet you, except they're like $200. I checked today. I ain't paying it. It's like $200 to get one of these. They'll sell out, though. I like this one, too. I don't think this one will be as popular with kind of the stars blended into the navy. This one's going to be massively popular. They finally got a jersey right for the World Cup. That's good to see. You know, we're doing a little sports slop at the end of the show. Relax. Sources say the NBA is set for first vote in the Las Vegas-Seattle expansion. So as if the NBA basketball product isn't watered down enough, they're going to make it even worse with a couple more teams. That'll be good. That'll be nice. So, okay. Over the weekend, man, it's so crazy. You had all of these videos out of spring break. So, I don't even know if I want to get into this. I guess I don't understand. Because part of me says, look, I don't want to be in an atmosphere like this. And maybe there was a time where I did. But it's like, I don't want to be in anything like this, so I'm not going out. I'm not going to a St. Patty's celebration. I'm not going to a Mardi Gras deal. I'm not going to a spring break deal. I'm not going to I'm not going to Dirty 6th Street in Austin. But we had all these videos from this weekend from St. Patty's Day. There was one from the Houston Rodeo. There's one from spring break. And it's all these fights breaking out. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to that. I think you're an idiot if you go and get involved in that. I think you're probably an idiot if you go out and you end up getting smoked, getting cold clocked at one of these deals. But you know what? It doesn't mean you deserve it. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at a couple of these angles and I'm thinking, I'm thinking a couple things. First of all, I'm thinking, what happened? I don't even know how to really phrase this. It's like, is it a what happened to our country? Is it a what happened to people? Like, this stuff didn't go on in the 90s. Not like this. I mean, you might have had a fight or two. Don't get me wrong. People drinking it in fights. No, these are like mobs of fights. These are people getting shot and then mob rushes and herds of people smashing each other on the beach. And I'm like, what happened? It's just, it's a legitimate question. None of this happened in the 90s. You used to be able to go out to these deals in the 90s and there was probably no violence. Spring break? Spring break was like cool. Spring break was everybody having a good time. Now it's just fighting and gunshots and crime. So these cities are banning spring break. Now, you can make an obvious demographic observation. There's no denying that. I don't want to say it, but I sit here and it's like we're all witnessing this. Like we're all seeing this, okay? We're all seeing what used to be good old fun turned into nothing more than just like mob riots now, big giant fights and putting your life in danger just going to these things. It's like we're all witnessing this. It's like we're all seeing this. Are we just going to pretend? Are we just going to pretend this isn't happening? To me, again, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to go to spring break for obvious reasons. And if I do, I'm not going to go near whatever that is. Do you think I'm overrating this as an issue? To me, this is like a national story. To me, this is like a national interest story. Spring break used to be for the week or two that it was live. It was like the top deal. It's like the top deal if you're young. It was like a big cultural event. It was all over TV. There was branding. There was sales pitches. There was marketing things. It's like spring break used to be a thing. So are we just going to sit here and pretend? Are we as Americans going to sit here and pretend like we did not just witness that over the weekend? Like we didn't just witness a bunch of spring break parties end up in gunshots? Like we didn't witness a bunch of St. Patrick's Day parades turning into fights and crime? Are we just going to pretend that? Because it's like we've been pretending that this just doesn't happen. And it's like so obvious now. We're just going to keep pretending, aren't we? We're just going to keep pretending that you can't even go on spring break in this country anymore. Like that's where we're at. We're just going to pretend it's not a thing. Now, here's my issue. Whatever you want to think about that. Whatever level care or concern you have about spring break going from something you could go and enjoy yourself with and the most pain you might have is a hangover to now you go to spring break, you want to, make sure you don't get shot or stabbed or robbed at knife point or whatever. Or a fight breaks out and somebody comes and cold clocks you from behind. I couldn't help it. I was watching these videos and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, maybe law enforcement can't be there, right? It's like maybe law enforcement can't be there in the moment to stop this stuff. Okay, fine. Why isn't there some sort of an ongoing effort in the aftermath to arrest these people? Because there's so much video evidence. I like here, let me show you an example right here. And it also happens to be this one individual that I'm going to highlight here did this multiple times. Okay. I want you to do this. We're going to do a little play-by-play. We're throwing it back to a little Schroyer play-by-play. All right. So a big fight breaks out over here. It ends up over caddy corner. So it started in front of this bar right over here. It ends up catty corner on the other side. This is some St. Patrick's parade. All right. Now notice this guy in the green right here. Everybody's wearing green. Notice this guy on the left. All right. So starts over here. Fight ends up over on this. So he's just, okay. He's kind of standing around. Not involved in anything. Standing around. Now he just decides he's just going to cold clock somebody. So obviously he put this guy out. So he's not involved. He's just standing around. Now he sees he's got the opportunity. He sees a free shot, probably because the guy's white. Maybe he's more motivated to take it, but we won't leap to that assumption. But he just decides, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and knock this guy out. So this guy does this. I see this in multiple videos. I see this. It appears to be the same guy in multiple videos standing around, and then he sees an opportunity to just cold clock somebody. And takes a shot. Oh, yeah, that guy's done. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then the fight continues. So there's all these videos out here. And I'm sitting here, again, I would say, do not go. Do not. It is not even worth it. Folks, I've seen it. I've seen people get their lives ruined over a bar fight. Honestly, you know what? Maybe some of you have too. I've seen it. I've seen people get their lives ruined over a bar fight. And I'm not proud of it. I've been in some bar fights. It's dumb. It's stupid. I've been in bar fights where some bad stuff could have happened, and I'm lucky it didn't, quite frankly. I look back on it now, and I'm like, thank you, God, that didn't go much worse. So whatever, you're dumb, young, you may end up in a situation. I have seen lives ruined from bar fights. I have seen lives ruined from street fights. I've seen it. Lives ruined. From the person throwing the punch and the person taking the punch. I've seen it all. So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, okay, obviously avoid these situations. Just avoid these situations, period. And if you do happen to be out and you see or hear that some grumbling of a fight's about to break down, you got to get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. Nobody is safe. Because you got people that just lurk around these fights. They don't even go to the bars, whatever. They just go out there looking for trouble. A fight starts. They're just lurking, waiting to knock somebody out like that. So I'm seeing that I have access to these videos. And I can easily sit here and look at people and say, okay, this guy needs to be arrested. I'm just wondering, why aren't the cops doing this? Why isn't there some sort, every time this happens, why aren't you going out and making arrests over these criminals? If you want to stop this stuff, you have to make example out of the people that literally just hang out waiting for a fight so that they can go take a cheap shot and knock somebody out. And you can easily, from any one of these hits, you can easily get brain damage. You can end up in a coma. Any number of things could happen. Why isn't there some sort of a law enforcement mechanism to go back and make sure that these people that just go out there to cheap shot you are getting arrested? Because this is ridiculous. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. So I'm sorry. Again, if you think this is a non-starter, then that's fine. To me, this is something. This is our country. This used to be part of our culture, as dumb as it might be. Spring break was part of our culture. That was part of being a young person in America. Once or twice, you went to spring break, you had some good, innocent enough fun. So now what? Now these kids can't even go to spring break because they might get shot, they might get stabbed, they might get robbed, they might get knocked out. They're not even involved in anything. Somebody just comes up and clean clocks them from behind. I'm sorry. I think this is outrageous. I think that this is outrageous, and I'm stunned that I'm watching the news and nobody's talking about it. Like, we're just going to pretend this isn't happening, huh? We're just going to pretend like going to spring break in 2026 is not a potentially life-threatening event. We're just going to pretend, huh? We're just going to ignore that? That's what it took, about 30 years for spring break to be fun, safe, wholesome enough for young kids. You know, all right. The questionable things weren't going to get you killed. Oh, no. Now it's you go to one of these spring break deals, like you have to take precautions, serious safety precautions. You hear all the stories about rape and the druggings and everything else. Like, this is crazy. And I'm sitting here, I'm watching all of it develop over the weekend. I'm like, wow, this is sad. Total media blackout. So that's what it is. So we're just going to pretend it's not happening. We're just going to pretend like we didn't just have a weekend of spring break violence and chaos and shootings and muggings and cold, cheap shots and everything else, huh? We're just going to pretend that. We're just going to, okay. Okay. So I would just say avoid it, is what I would say. Just avoid it. All right, let's, I got a couple of leftovers here. This is just crazy. From last week. Let's get some of the leftovers out, and we'll go to the super chat. This is Leo Terrell, the head of the DOJ's anti-Semitism task force. This guy is so pathetic. Listen.
Where have you found the most pungent examples of anti-Semitism across the U.S. so far?
Everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, we focus on the big cities, but it's in the small cities. It's in the South. It's in the North. It's in the East, in the West. How do I know that? Because my phone never stops ringing. Complaints all over the country of anti-Semitism.
It's just so okay. Well, what are we doing about it? This is the biggest issue in the world. So let's go to, so you just had the head of the DOJ anti-Semitism task force. Let's now go to the anti-Semitism czar, Rabbi Kaploon. What are we doing about this?
How do you combat anti-Semitism when we have 500 groups to combat anti-Semitism? We're spending the most money in history to combat anti-Semitism, and yet anti-Semitism is at the highest levels ever since 1933.
I'm shocked.
Because we can no longer have 500 different messages to combat anti-Semitism.
How's Black Lives Matter going? Oh, I mean, stop anti-Semitism. Same crap. And of course, it's all a lie. Just like Black Lives Matter, just like racism, anti-Semitism is a big fat lie. It's all political propaganda. But in this case, it's worse because it's actually feeding off of a real political debate, off of a real policy, foreign policy debate out of Israel. So it's not like racism in America where they just try to pit blacks against whites and then use it to get people to vote Democrat. No, this is Israel is using the United States of America as its source to do everything at once in the Middle East. So when you don't support that or you say something negative about Israel or Benjamin Netanyahu, they use anti-Semitism to stop that from happening. So it's kind of like the opposite, where they use Black Lives Matter to accomplish something. In this, they're using anti-Semitism to stop you from talking about something that's happening. So it's all blown out of proportion. It's all, BLM for the left, anti-Semitism for the right. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Now, the difference is the anti-Semitism fight actually has government power, and it has way more institutional power to destroy your life than anything BLM ever had. So you see, you say the wrong thing about Israel or Netanyahu, these people will try to destroy your lives, and they have the institutional power to do it. With BLM, it just kind of just washes into the abyss. But that's what it is. It's not anti-Semitism. It's a foreign policy debate. It's people that have an issue with the Israeli government and military action. That's what it is about. So they just say that's anti-Semitism so that you can't have a real conversation about foreign policy or about military action in the Middle East. That's the difference. But what are they going to do? They're not going to stop, and they have institutional power. So they'll probably, I bet you they arrest somebody. I don't know if it'll be Tucker Carlson. They'll arrest somebody. Federal surveillance tech becomes mandatory in new cars by 2027. Oh, great. This is just what we saw on that automated driver. Your next car purchase comes with an unwelcome passenger, a federal mandate requiring surveillance technology that monitors your every blink, glance, and head nod, thanks to Section 24220 of the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. So this was brought in by the Democrats, although if it passed in 2021, who really knows? It doesn't matter. Democrats, Republicans, they all suck. This is like what they did with the automatic start-stop, which is illegal now. That was so criminal, it was unreal that they did that. And now it's one of the most obnoxious things in cars. So now you have Big Brother in the car. So you just saw Big Brother telling that girl she needs to buckle her seatbelt. Now Big Brother's going to be in the car with you. So there you go. When are they going to start installing this? They say by 2027. Can we stop this, please? Can we not have a freaking spy in our car with us? Can anything be sacred? Can anything be private? Nope, your car's Big Brother too now. Let's see what else. Oh, they're pissed. Kanye West is trying to get a concert in Los Angeles. So Black Lives Matter. Jewish advocates groups are stopping him from trying to get that concert. Oh, boy. Let's not go there. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Oh, you guys want to see this Megyn Kelly bit with Shapiro? Look at this one. This is funny.
Had to go. Then I had to go, even though I've had a 15-year friendship with a guy, publicly attacked me. Same thing, not even a text in advance, even though we had a text like literally 4 months or 4 weeks early.
So this is the Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly fallout. Megyn Kelly's like, I'm shocked. I thought we were friends. I don't know why he's attacking me. We were friends all those years.
Here saying, no matter who we're friends with, because he was mad I was friends with Tucker, our friendship means more to us than anything. And we won't do anything to F it up. Next thing I know, I get attacked by him on stage at Turning Point.
Megyn wanted me to come and do one of her live events, which we did for free, obviously. It came down as a favor to Megyn because Megyn and I were friendly. And of course, we'd had a long-standing business relationship in which we had really, really helped her launch her business, which she freely admitted at the time. I don't know if she does anymore.
Oh, Ben Shapiro was responsible for Megyn Kelly's launch? I'm sorry. I thought that was Fox News. But listen to what he says at the beginning here.
Megyn wanted me to come and do one of her live events, which we did for free, obviously.
We did the event for free, Megyn. Don't you know us money grubbers? We never do anything for free, Megyn. We would never do anything for free. And we did this for you for free. We did it for free, Megyn. For free. He never stopped thinking about that to this day.
Wanted me to come and do one of her live events, which we did for free.
He never stopped thinking about that he did that for free. He's been thinking about the fact that he had to do that for free for how many years? 10 years he's been thinking about that bill that he should have sent Megyn Kelly? Man. Come on, man. Maybe this has something to do with the spring break issues, guys. Do you think this girl always talked like this?
I'm fucking lying. I ain't finna argue with a bitch that ain't got shit to lose but their cell phone, their ID, and their social security card.
The underlying tragedy of hip-hop hypnosis is the destruction of language. Now, this woman probably spoke with more eloquence when she was in 5th grade, but unfortunately, she has trained herself to unfortunately talk like a moron, and it's painful to witness and it's painful to hear. The best thing we can do is snap the youth out of this trance, and for future generations to understand that when you listen to moron music on repeat, behavior modification through repetition produces a state of hypnosis where, unfortunately, language is literally destroyed.
Yeah. I'd say, yeah. I think that about sums that one up, huh? All right, we're going to have to, you know what? Let's do one more for giggles. One more for giggles, and we'll go to the super chat. So this was actually a leftover from Black History Month. Need some coffee over here. This was, I meant to do this during Black History Month. This was part of your, Israeli propaganda operation, with PragerU. And so this guy, Xavier Rochando, or whatever his name is, he's very pro-war all of a sudden. I don't think he's ever served, but he's very pro-Israel. He's very pro-war. Tell me, guys, a lot of you guys, you're not very supportive of the Jewish state. You're not very supportive of Israel, not enough. So maybe this will help you out.
Black and Jewish people have more in common than you think.
Let's talk about it.
All throughout the civil rights movement, the first community that was always there to have the Black community's back was the Jewish community. You'll see photos of MLK marching and who's right by his side, a bunch of rabbis. And then the Black community stepped up and was there with the Jewish community, especially Martin Luther King, and they all stood with Israel and they all stood behind the Jewish community.
That is true. Blacks were targeted a lot too and still are at points, and just like the Jews. So I feel like that's how we connect a lot.
We still to this day have.
So you know what this all is. And by the way, look at this. I love how they put this clearly Eastern European woman out here. Yeah. Okay. All those Semites with blonde hair and blue eyes. Yeah. Right.
Still are at points, and just like the Jews. So I feel like that's how we connect a lot.
We still to this day have many of the exact same enemies.
So you know what this is, right? This is just like that Super Bowl ad. They want to keep blacks against whites. And that's why, you know what? Let me say this, and we're going to go to the super chats because this is just the truth. But you know what? I think I need to go to this other video after this. The truth is, it's all trauma-based mind control. Now, I don't want to go to the conclusive level of this, that it's all anti-white in its purpose. And maybe you could say this is why they say all Europeans are anti-Semitic. And this is why they say they have to avenge for Amalek or whatever, because it was Germans or Europe that did this in the Holocaust, whatever. But the result is all anti-white. The result is all anti-white. The result is a genocide of white people. The result is the white population going down to zero. The result is that whites are the number one victim of crime. So I don't know if you want to claim that its entire purpose was always anti-white, but I think it'd be a fair conclusion to reach. And so that's what you have is, oh, see, whites are against blacks and whites are against Jews. And so this is why blacks and Jews need to stay together against the dirty, evil white man. And it's all trauma-based mind control. This is all trauma-based mind control. So they put Black Americans under the trauma-based mind control of slavery. And that's why they make sure to make it as bad as possible, to make the age of slavery in America seeming as bad as possible. Whereas a more accurate depiction of slavery in the beginning of America would be in the movie The Patriot. So they make things like Django Unchained so that that's the depiction. And so it's hitting those nerves. It's hitting those scars. It's invoking the trauma-based mind control that because you're black, people out there don't like you. You're one step away from being a slave again to the bad white man. So it's all trauma-based mind control. It's all anti-white propaganda. Who was it that brought the slaves? It wasn't the whites. The whites didn't bring the slaves to America. Those were fellow Africans and Jews that did that, not whites. Regardless, it's all anti-white propaganda. It's all trauma-based mind control against black people. The same thing happens to Jewish people. They use the trauma-based mind control of the Holocaust, and they tell you're one step away from going right back to a concentration camp because you're Jewish. You're one step away from going right back to Nazi Germany because you're Jewish. You're one step away from the Holocaust because you're Jewish. It's the same thing. So they invoke it. They make sure you see it in all the history books, all the movies, and they invoke it and they invoke it. The accuracy of it, again, is it like with slavery? Is it more? Is it worse? I don't know. It's all trauma-based mind control aimed at black people and aimed at Jewish people so that you go into this heightened sense against a certain group. So it's the whites that did it to the Jews. It's the whites that did it to the blacks. So you go into this heightened sense of race. You go into this heightened sense of self-awareness of your own racial identity. And then you have the propaganda telling you it's the white person. So that's the trauma-based mind control. And it's totally aimed at American Jews or Jews around the world. And it's totally aimed at blacks in America. 100%, that's what it is. It's trauma-based mind control. That's why the two things they make sure you see most vividly and most graphically in the history textbooks and in the movie industry is to invoke it, to invoke that trauma-based mind control and to keep you on that edge thinking that white person is one day away from putting you back. That white person is one day away from another Holocaust. That white person is one day away from that slavery age. That's the trauma-based mind control. That's why they continue to demonize white people. That's why you see the division. And then ultimately, now that there's unity, or now that there is, we went through killing political correctness. We went through getting over racial divisions. Oh, and now people are sick of Israel. What are they doing? They're re-invoking all of the trauma-based mind control. And they're telling black people, hey, Jews are your allies. And they're telling Jewish people, hey, whites are inherently anti-Semitic. And they're driving them back onto the plantation of trauma-based mind control, aiming it against white people because they don't want white people to control their own destiny. They don't want white people to control their own country. And they certainly don't want a country of white people that is only looking out for themselves. So that's why all of this has been done. I think that sums it up. And so when they see this, when they see a black American saying this, they have to invoke that trauma-based mind control and that pain and aim it at white people because they don't like to see this.
We've really been tricked to believe that if somebody a different color from you and they don't agree with what you think, they automatically racist. I'm looking at my feeds every day. 90% of them are white people telling me they agree with me, they ride with me, they calling me their brother, and this on every single post. Do you know who going against me? Just because I think differently than him? My own people, the ones that's my color. I got people jumping in the comments out the blue, don't want to argue what I'm talking about, just want to call me a coon, you going against your people, and I hope the police kill you and all that.
Now, I don't want to play this whole video, but notice how the same thing happens with somebody like Dave Smith. Notice how the same thing happens. No, you're supposed to identify with your skin group. No, you're supposed to identify with your racial group. And the minute you break that, what do? Oh, the black people come after him. Oh, the Jewish people go after Dave Smith. See how that works? I think so. Let's see. Do we want to hit any other leftovers? Man, I got a bunch of Epstein files in the leftovers. I want to hit a leftover here, take a short break, and then do the super chats since we've already gone a little long. We'll do a little bonus time on a Monday for you. Well, I'll tell you what. This is the American Jewish Committee CEO, Ted Deutsch, talking about how they need to take control of social media. You know, guys, that whole thing called free speech, that doesn't work here.
In the 20th century, the American zeitgeist was defined by TV and newspapers. Today, it's social media. Does the organized Jewish community need a social media strategy?
Look, we know from our State of Antisemitism in America report that the largest challenge for us when it comes to fighting anti-Semitism is online. And there are multiple ways to address it. Yes, we need a better strategy, but there are multiple ways to address it. There is the content piece, and I think we have to acknowledge that it's important to put out meaningful content. It is also important to realize that the content is driven by algorithms that determine what it is you're going to see. And the way to address those algorithms is to deal directly with the social media companies, which is what we do. And we can point to successes with Meta and with TikTok and with others in working to ensure that anti-Semitic material and anti-Semitic material that feeds into algorithms is taken down from their sites.
So there you go. So these Jewish groups manipulate social media so that you don't get free speech and you don't see anything negative about Israel. There you go. There it is. As if you didn't already know. You might as well just hear it for yourself. You might as well just hear it for your own damn self. I got these all day. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna flash this on the screen. This is an old one. Spain sees 4th train crash in 5 days. Here was some social media activity right before then in a certain greatest ally country. I'm just gonna leave that right there. I don't even want to go there, guys. You can just go ahead and look at that. Okay, that's nice. Let's see. Anything else we want to get off the docket here before we go to the super chats? Let's see. Where is all this Tucker Carlson hate coming from, guys? This is the Jerusalem Post press conference.
I'm quite concerned because we have witnessed in our lifetime the capture of the Democratic Party, and we've lost them. And they've gone extreme. I wouldn't even call it extreme left. I'd call it extreme radical. And what we're witnessing now is the capture of the conservative right by the very same parties that did it to the left.
You didn't make up your own mind. You're not an independent thinker. You didn't reach conclusions based off of analysis and data. You're just captured.
Left, and I'm talking about Qatar and its allies. And being at...
You're captured by Qatar.
AmFest, it was quite clear that there is a split. And the split is based on, frankly, people's age, right? Everyone over 30 was booing Tucker Carlson, was booing Megyn Kelly. And
actually, that age is probably 50, so you're being dishonest.
And Steve Bannon coming on. Everybody under 30, on the other hand, were cheering them. And it was...
And actually, the latest data indicates that Americans under the age of 65, the majority of Americans under the age of 65 have a negative view of Israel. The only demographic age-wise above 50% support Israel is above 65 years. So your data is wrong here, lady, or you're just lying.
Frightening. And what they're doing is basically twisting Christian theology.
Oh, you're twisting Christian theology because you don't believe you should be a slave to Jews. You're twisting Christian theology because you don't think that you should be a slave to Israel and that you push back on the Judeo-Christian made-up concept. That makes, oh, okay, I see.
Bringing back replacement theology in modern day political dialogue, calling Jews, calling Ben Shapiro a genius who had the courage to go on stage and say the truth. An Israel firster? That's Jew hatred. Saying that Israel...
There it is. If you don't support Israel, you hate Jews. There it is. If you don't like Black Lives Matter, you're a racist. I mean, come on.
Israel drags America into forever wars. That's
literally what's happening again.
Ignorance. Saying that God breaks his covenant, that God is no longer with the Jewish people and Israel is just some secular state that doesn't deserve our support. That's
deserve our support. It claims to be entitled to it. And again, the Christian ethos, the covenant of Christ, is that there are no chosen people. Anybody can find God through Jesus Christ. Doesn't matter what your background is. So I wonder when that one's going to eventually hit the pavement. You know it's going to eventually hit the pavement. Eventually, they're not going to be able to avoid it any longer. And they're going to have to answer the question, do you believe Jews are God's chosen people? And therefore, are they more important? Because they've already said it in every other way except directly. And if you're Jewish, I suppose that's what you believe. That's your theology, I suppose. So let's just hear it. Let's just hear you tell the American people what you think. Tell the American people that you believe unless they are Jewish, they are second-class citizens. Tell the American people that you believe Jews are God's chosen people forever, and that makes you a second-class citizen, and therefore the Constitution, all men are created equal, it has to be abolished. It has to be abolished under this new Jewish theology that is against the Christian theology, that Jews are an above everybody else, that Jews are the chosen people, therefore anyone else is a second-class citizen. I can't wait till this hits the pavement. You know it's inevitable. You know inevitably it's going to get to this point, and they're going to have to answer that question. It's not going anywhere. They're claiming it every day, but they've never had to come out and just say it, to the American people. So I can't wait. Let's go. You know it's inevitable, though. It's coming. And I can't wait to hear what they say. I'd like to ask Leo Terrell if he believes he's a second-class citizen. I'd like to ask Mike Huckabee, do you believe you're a second-class citizen? I'd like to hear it. And if they say no, does that make them anti-Semitic? And if they say yes, does that make them a traitor? I think we're going to find out this calendar year. I don't think they can avoid this question. I don't think they can avoid this confrontation for the rest of the year. I think it's coming. All right, final break, and we go into a little bonus time for the Super Chats.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
All right. How do you handle that? How do you handle that? Yeah, well, you got to take it lightly. You got to take it lightly these days. No point in getting upset anymore. It's just the crazy world we live in. So, no turning back now. Nowhere to go. Except to the Super Chats. Here we go. What do you guys got for me today? Tay leads us off. Bibi most likely dead. Yair hasn't tweeted in a week. You know, I'm not convinced. I will say it's very strange. I do understand why people think the videos are AI. I do understand that. I'm not convinced. It's strange. It's strange. I'm not willing to report that, but I see why people think it is. So I'm not pushing back on that. There's some other interesting things, you know, Bessent getting pulled out of that meeting. I don't follow Yair on social media. He hasn't posted, so I don't know. Maybe that's something. And it's, you know, what's crazy too is I look at it now where if you just believe the opposite of what Trump says, that's now more likely to become true than if you believe him at his word. If you believe Trump at his word, then you're going to get fooled. If you believe the opposite of what Trump says, then it's a higher likelihood that you might actually understand the truth. So when Trump and them are coming out and they're saying, oh, all the Iranian leaders are dead and dismembered, well, the opposite would be that's true about Netanyahu. So if you go with that, then that would be the conclusion you reach, which is becoming a higher percentage of accuracy now. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The videos are definitely weird, and he's not at his security meetings anymore, but there could be other reasons for that. There could be other reasons why that's going on. Captain Hard, Trump said the video of the people getting behind the Iranian government was AI. They are actively sabotaging him, or he just doesn't really care. Maybe both. Could be both. Shapiro's eyebrows. Me and wifey will come bail you out, Owen, when the right puts you in jail for speech. Well, I've learned enough from being a speech prisoner. I know what multiple time speech prisoner. I know what will get you in, and I'd like to think I know how to stay out. But the one problem is I can't stop telling the truth. And so that might be what it comes down to. If you keep telling the truth, you're going to end up in jail. So can't do that. No username. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for the super chat. Our government is evil. 99% blackout in Cuba because we're blocking oil from Venezuela. People will be hurt by this. That also includes hospitals to cause civil unrest due to another regime change. Yeah, it's total evil. Yeah. Yep. There's no other way to put it. People will die because of this. People will die in Cuba because of this, and they don't care. It's all about power. It's all about money and power for our disgusting, evil government. Why'd you have to do that? Now I'm getting mad. Because our government is so evil, so disgustingly evil. And I see these people celebrating it. You're sick. See, now I have to move on because I'm angry now. Shut up, panicking, and get back into your clown car. Thank you. Thank you for telling me my role here. I appreciate that. I needed that right at that moment. Brian Swope. It's been like going through all of the stages of grieving. You're talking about the MAGA cult. Yeah. DZ, have we started doing any new oil drilling in the U.S.? Whatever happened to that Alaskan pipeline? Did Trump pre-plan his backstabbing us before the election since he knew what was in the files and paid off? That's the ultimate question. When did Trump change? Was it always this way, or did Trump change? I think something happened. I think something either happened when they whizzed one by his ear, if that was even real. Now who even knows anymore? Now people don't even believe that. I can't blame them. Was it the Epstein files? Was it the money that came in during the campaign? I'm not hearing anything about new U.S. energy. They keep talking about it. They're shutting down refineries. So it's like 50-50. Who really knows? They don't have it ready. If it is coming, it's not here now. Marson, you can't really debate those people. They will call you a Democrat every time you disagree with them. Exactly. It's the woke right. Racist. Democrat. That's exactly what it is. Neo-Nazi. Liberal. I'm leaning in. Yeah, you and me both. Gringo tomato. Preach it, Owen. Iron lunatic. Preach. I guess you guys liked my monologue today. Went a little longer than I thought, but all right. It's nice, a little positive reviews. We all float down here in Georgia. We all float. We all float with the clown world. ZK Snacks. The reason the weather is crazy is because of the Hunga Tunga volcano eruption in 2022. 146 million tons of water in the atmosphere for 8 years. I'd never heard of that one. Hunga Tunga. Do it again. Video quality getting worse on purpose to hide AI. Interesting. Okay. I dig it. 25th Amendment. Is he competent? Not in helping us. Doesn't matter. Everybody that surrounds him now is a loyal cult member, so they're going along for the ride. Junior Williams. Trump's 20 promises were deleted from Agenda 47. The rallies, the speeches, MAGA, all of it are being memory hold for this unprovoked war with Iran. Oh! I saw that from Kyle Seraphin earlier today. So, yeah, I mean, Trump's already broken all the promises, so he might as well erase the evidence. We're doing polls on Israel says it all. Too much power in America. We don't do this for any other country besides that one. My age group woke up. Yeah, all the polls show there's no support, but that's why they're going for broke now. That's why they're stealing as much money, as much blood and treasure from the American people for Israel's agenda right now, because they micro PP Mark Levin. They'd never off CK though. No, of course not. No, don't even think about that. Large and in charge 9. Impossible to have micro Mark's voice and be well hung. It's more, there's just a whole aura there, you know. There's a whole energy, as they say. That's SDE. So you call that SDE. We won't forgive you for not wanting to delete all the kids and Amalek. They have these conferences like every weekend, too. It's crazy. MAGA Superfighter, Shapiro's eyebrows, Levin's voice, micro nub, James Lindsay's lack of audience, Loomer's personality. Yeah. That's what you got. That's MAGA, though. That's MAGA now. Employee strong for life. Anyone can get cheap content. LOL. I like you so very much. Keep up the amazing reporting. Thank you. Thank you very much. Owen Schroyer wifey, thank you for convincing me to stop using AirPods. It has made such a huge impact. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. What are you using? Are you using the ones I suggested? See, babe, you need to listen to me. These women, if they just listen to me. Seen the term Christian Zionist used a lot this week with regular people in their posts. Think they are all trying to normalize it? Normalize it, monetize it, indoctrinate it. You name it. They're jealous and hate that we love you. A lot of love in the chat today. Boo St. Louis Blues. Go Chicago Blackhawks. We will beat your team April 11th. Is that the last game of the year? Last time I checked, BB Benko, both of the teams sucked. I don't think either one of them is making the playoffs. The Blues have won the most recent Stanley Cup, however, but you guys did have that run. So, and I think the best two jerseys, maybe in sports, are the Blackhawks and the Blues. I think the Blues are the best logo. The Blackhawks jerseys are clean. But you know what? I'm taking the Blues. I'm taking the Blues on April 11th. I got the Blues to win. I don't think the Blues are actually surging. They're always a good finishing team. No, the Blues will beat the Blackhawks in a month. Can we just admit we're already in World War III? Don't be saying that. A subscription plan for national security. Yeah, anything to grift off the people. That's the Trump way. Cowpoke Ranch. The fate of MAGA was always a Darth Vader type villain story, if we're honest with ourselves. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. Now the suffering has begun. I think that's a little too deep for me. I think we just got sold out. That's all. I think Trump just sold us out. Jose Navarro, JD Task Force in California will be used against Newsom 2028. Well, there's definitely a lot to uncover there. Could the war energy crunch hurt AI data centers? Well, not if they can help it. They need that AI surveillance grid. But you know what? It's an interesting point you bring up, not even specifically in that, but all this, I don't think we really know how this war is gonna mess up a bunch of other plans. And we don't even know the truth of what's going on with this war. But yeah, you look at all the other agenda items and energy and all of this stuff and the current world order and the pecking order. I don't think we really know what the result of the war will be. And we're kind of assuming that if and when it ends, things will kind of go back to the normal as they were, because that's always how it has been. That's what we're used to. That's our conditioning bias. But I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that's the case. But no doubt there's going to be all kinds of impacts we don't even know about yet if this thing goes much longer. The young right, young left have to get along and clean up the mess our elders left us. It's not fair, but it's the stupid hand we've been dealt, and we have to put our country first since our elders couldn't be bothered. There's no denying the truth in that. I concur. I agree. And that's why they're trying to divide us on skin color and religion and everything else. It's some guy. I remember when the show, 100 to 200 views. Now look at it. Good to see not all right-wing people are shills. Thank you. And I'm not sure where you're talking about. Probably YouTube, where we had a smaller audience. I think we go into a couple thousand every day on YouTube. Really appreciate everybody that tunes in live. Really appreciate everybody that listens back. Again, folks, give us a follow. The show is broadcast every day, live 3 to 6 p.m. weekdays on X, on rumble.com/Owen, on YouTube, The Owen Report. The audio archives are on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spotify. The Owen Report archives, you can listen to them there as well. We appreciate that. And, yeah, it turns out people like the truth. And so as a bunch of people on the right or in the media are once again proving to be sellouts and cowards and frauds and liars, we remain with the truth, and we continue to do the best political play-by-play out there. So glad to see that. Thank you. Joe W., how dare Somalians steal that money when it could have been given to Israel? Yeah, that's true. How dare they all engage in the fraud and stealing the money when it was Israel's money? It was always their money promised to them for this war. AJ seeing the light, he said Lindsey Graham and Netanyahu are spit roasting Trump and that they are stuffing him like a turkey. I think I saw that clip, and that was a classic. Yeah. Somebody did an edit of that, right? And they did AI graphics on top of that rant from Alex. That was a good one. I liked that one. I did see that. That one showed up on my feed. I'll just leave it there. I'll just leave it there. Wanting to spend your money on yourself is antiseptic. Is that for the teacher comment? They'll call me a liberal for that one. I make Mark Levin look tiny. I'm like ant length. Dark despair. I don't know. I'm not going any further into that. Best sports video game. Any golf game is my type of game. Anything from the early 2000s. I would say best football video game ever is Madden 2005. Best baseball video game ever. There were a couple good ones in the early 2000s. MVP 2005. Some slugfests were great. Any video games from the early 2000s were pretty much the best. There were some late 2000s basketball games, maybe, but you're probably still better off with like classic NBA Jam. I don't know. I can't play new video games, so I'm all old school. I'm watching from my garage. Salute my garage, brother. N brand. We've got the best garage. We have the best garages, the best. If you hit the pavement wrong, not worth it, kids. I'm telling you, don't. Just avoid it, man. Just avoid it. Until the rope rots. Got my Cove Pure. The water is perfect. All thanks to the GOATS promo. Here's a little extra to help hire a tech exorcist. Thank you. Love you too. Thank you for supporting our sponsor. A tech exorcist. Somebody could do that. Has anyone ever told them it may be their behavior? That's like what you do to children. You know, you have to tell children there's responsibilities for your actions. Alpha K-Boy. Great show today, Owen. Thank you, Alpha. Owen Schroyer's grandma. Today is my 63rd birthday. Well, you're not my grandma. She's almost 100. But happy birthday to you. With all the Twilight Zone crap going on, I sure could use a birthday song. I'm not a normal boomer. Well, happy birthday to you, Owen Schroyer's YouTube granny. Thank you for being here. Happy birthday. Happy 63rd. Colin Quinn. Owen, would you ever have on Chris Bolin? He talks about 9/11. Brendan O'Connell, too, as he talks about Israel's takeover of American infrastructure. We can check him out. Jordan Walker. Trump is radicalizing America more than he is Iran. Interesting point. There's some truth to that. Owen report. I'm super chatting myself. Rumors circulating about new Schroyer summer party. Here's the deal. I think we could do it. I think we could have fun. The problem is, to do these things right, you have to really commit. And I just don't have the capacity to really commit. It's something you have to sit down and really commit to. And I'm just too embedded in doing this show every day. But I was thinking there's two things that we could possibly do. We could do an Owen Schroyer summer party at the end of the summer, and I would DJ and MC it. I also feel like there is another angle to this that we used to joke about with some of my older friends in St. Louis, adult prom. We basically just have adult prom, and it's just like any other prom dance, but it's adult themed. So, you have a bar or whatever. I think there'd be an appetite for a Schroyer summer party. maybe even an adult prom type of a thing. I don't know. Just get out with your significant other, your wife, whatever. The Schroyer summer party would be a different brand, though. Maybe. If somebody wants to do it, if somebody wants to organize it and put in the time and effort to like organize it and get, tickets, security, secure a venue and everything, because you have to do it right if we're going to do it, then I'd do it. I'd do it. Stank Jesus. I was called every coon and Uncle Tom in the book for refusing to support Democrats. I didn't even support Trump. Just didn't buy the left's BS. Everybody wants you in their cult, man. What happened to Drill Baby Drill, David Hall? No idea. Not hearing anything about that. Bruins are better. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. Big Don, hold steadfast your amendments and in lockstep with your patriotism, let the left and the right keep distracting themselves from us. Just got a new flogger. Want to try? I don't know. Thank you, Garage Diving, for free food. I'm the only snack in here, baby. Mary McAlevin. I'm a boomer and against the Trump regime. Yeah, well, we have the smartest boomers in this audience. NFL Blitz the League or NBA Street Volume 2? Well, NFL Blitz the League was a single-player take on a multiplayer classic. It was pretty fun. But NBA Street Volume 2 is like one of the greatest games of all time. NBA Street 2 is like top games of all time. So definitely doesn't compare. NFL 2K5 was by far the GOAT sports game. They came out, there was an NFL 2K game where they had that like first person experience. And it was also kind of like sidled in with like some in-game rewards program that they had. And you had like a trophy room, and then you could like customize your, mansion or whatever it was. That was the first game that kind of really did that well. Probably still wasn't as good as Madden that year, but if that's the game I'm thinking of, the first person experience in that game was actually pretty cool. I don't think it's dramatic to say MAGA and Trump are a unique evil in America. They swindled millions of good people into their demented cult. No, it's bad now. I mean, it's bad. See you at Lake Travis for the Schroyer party, 1 of 1K. Should we do it, guys? Should we do the Schroyer summer party? Like I said, though, I wouldn't do it like a pop-up deal. We'd have to do it right. We'd have to secure a venue, sell tickets, get security, like actually do a real thing. I would DJ it. It would be fun, but I just don't know if I have the capacity to plan it. Dropped a penny. Don't drink the Trump aid. Don't drink the Trump aid. Dropped a penny. All right. Aaron Hahn. Remember Shutterstock 45? Them's was the days. The photo sharing service? Is that what you're talking about? The good old days on the internet are long gone. Long gone. Now it's all social distortion. It's all social engineering, censorship, potential imprisonment. Carolina Hurricanes, best sweater. Go Canes, go. Sorry, Granny. Not the best sweater. Not even close. You misread my entire chat. Well, you know what, Don? Maybe you need to write it better. Maybe you should have a double take before you send it in, and then the host won't misread it. Being a little harsh on Don today. You sounded interested. You sure you don't know? Starting to get weird. Tecmo Super Bowl. A little too 2-bit for my liking. Little too 2-bit, but it was a good one. Gigi, I'll add you to my group chat. There we go. There it is. Vulcan Gas Company, ticketed entry, $40 security, July. No. I would prefer it. I'd prefer it outdoors. I'd prefer to be able to do something outdoors. Like if there was like a hotel pool or something that we could rent. Because the Vulcan Gas Company, it's all indoors. It's like this tiny little room. I don't know. But I said someone else has to organize it, so I can't hate for the delivery on goods here. Palmetto Hawk, society has gone the way of the once great NBA. Teams going to the wrong goal and walking 5 to 10 steps. Looking forward to NCAA action this month. Yeah. I guess you saw that video over the weekend. It's just crazy, dude. The NBA just sucks now. It's crazy what they've done to the NBA. It is just so bad now. And NCAA action starts tomorrow. You want to know one of the strangest things? There are certain things in the world that just make no sense. They are just flat out retarded. And you know what one of them is? A play-in game for the 11 seed in the NCAA tournament. Can somebody make any sense of this at all? Why would you do an 11 seed play-in game? It makes no sense. Now, you've always had in the past with the 65 team entry, a play-in game for one 16 seed, a play-in game for one 16 seed game. Now you have 2 play-in games for 2 16 seed games and 2 play-in games for an 11th seed. What even is that? Why wouldn't the 2 playoff games, or why wouldn't all the playoff games be for the 16 seed? Why is there a play-in game for an 11 seed? Tell me how that makes sense. Why are you punishing an 11 seed that has a high success rate against 6 seeds traditionally in the tournament? Why are you punishing an 11 seed instead of making a 16 seed team play an extra game, which, by the way, they would probably rather do anyway, because they're not going to beat the 1 seed. I think that's happened one time in the history of the tournament. So why not give the 16 seeds an extra game to play so that they can play an extra game instead of punishing an 11 seed and doing an 11 seed playing game? It has to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in sports history. It makes no sense. It's total retard level. And I see it now every year. A play-in game for an 11 seed. Whoever came up with this idea needs to be shoved in a bag and beaten. Mercilessly. Beaten. Put them in a burlap sack and stomp on them. A play-in game for the 11th seed. Who thought of this? Why are we still doing it? And is this not the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life? It makes no sense at all. I think Texas might be one this year, too. I don't know if they can play a clutch game. The women, though, the Texas women, watch out for them. If you have a party, it would be fun to meet your wifey, Gigi, and your garage. You know what? That could be a dangerous thing if we had all of them in the same room at the same time. It could be dangerous or really fun. I guess it's not up to me. 1 of 1K. Is this coming out of DMT's paycheck? I'm curious about that, actually. I may have to do some forensic analysis. Will Loomer be invited? No, we want to have fun. Ever think about a Telegram chat group? Yes. But there's too much. It's just like, it's too much. It's all the time. It's too much. So I don't think we might. It's been on the docket. It's up for consideration. So it's in the coffers, but there's too much, man. It's just like, I only have 24 hours a day. Eyes Widen Owen, Schroyer Summer Jam 2026. That's a decent name. We can work it a little bit, but you're close. I have a dungeon. Looks much like your garage. Weird. Philip Lamp. I think you're our last for the day, Philip. Owen, what happened to your Trump tie? Is it for sale? Well, which one? I have a couple Trump ties. I don't think so. I still like the ties. They're still nice ties. So, no, I don't think they're for sale. If you want to make an offer, I mean, I guess everything's for sale, really. I'm an old boomer, and I'm totally sick of Trump. David Hull. All right. I know you guys are out there. I always say we're not making blanket statements. Just generalizing. That's all. All right, what do you think for a Monday show? What do you think for a Monday show? That's going to do it for us. We had some tense moments. We had some controversial things. But you know what? Pretty whimsical. I think pretty light, really, all things considered. This is the theme. We trigger them, we mog them, we laugh at them. Because they're going to destroy everything no matter what. So we might as well not destroy ourselves in the process, you know? All right, let's take a 20-and-a-half-hour break. Oh, bonus time today. We're going to take a 20-and-a-half-hour break. We'll do the same thing tomorrow, same time, same channel. God bless and Godspeed.